Ready or not?
We have frames. Guess that means we're on.
Oh, screen.
We're on the wrong side of the screen.
Okay. Welcome to the stream. Hello, everybody. It is what is it? Tuesday night.
Tuesday night.
Ooh.
Tuesday. A friend of mine used to say Tuesday. He'd hold up two fingers like that was the beginning of the word Tuesday.
All right, it is our regular Tuesday night stream from our studio, our magic studio, with our magical green screen, where we can transport ourselves to anywhere. I think we're in Iola. Is it Iola? Is that the right way to pronounce it?
What?
Is this a Dr. Go picture?
Oh, that's a Dr. Go picture of his, yeah, it's a picture he took.
So we're currently in Iola.
Okay.
All right. And wait. Since it's magic,
Mexican spec. Be back after the election's called. You'll be back in 2 weeks from now. Because that's what happens on our
Not
elections.
even going to talk about
I'm
it.
not going to talk about
Stop
it.
talking about it.
I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to wait for you. I'm not going to wait.
Now we have been teleported magically to prehistoric times where elections don't even exist. The election is that dinosaur eats you, and now that dinosaur is not eaten. Anyways, okay, back to cars, back to introductions. As you can see, we have some, through the magic of technology, we can do some fancy screen stuff with our green screen and be wherever we need to be. This hopefully will give you some visual stimulation that we are not able to do while we are working in the shop. So that's fun. But the other thing that we do on Tuesday nights, but most nights actually, is that we interact with the chat. This is not all about us on Tuesday nights. It's about you and all of us together. So anyways, yeah, we will be greeting people as they come and saying goodnight as people go, because we go for a while, people come and go. No one has hours and hours and hours, or well, not everybody has hours and hours and hours to stare at us on a Tuesday night, but a lot of people stop in and it's fun. And okay, I'm talking too much and not doing it. Danny Boyd is here, so he does get the point.
I said.
For being
the
first to comment. Mexican Spec was here with the first comment at 7 o'clock, but Danny Boyd was a close second. And Colleen, who is mama of Mopars, Mustangs, and minivans,
and some more M's,
is here after that. So I'm giving out 3 points. Danny Boyd's getting a point, Mexican Spec's getting a point, and Mama M3 is getting a point because everybody was here right on the dot, but not everybody will be here on the dot. But if you're watching afterwards, it's fun to get here so you can chat. So I am Kim of Kim Fixes Things. You can find my channel elsewhere on YouTube where I post videos about things that I do, usually trying to fix things, and they're things that I do on my own. But when I am in the live here or in the shop a lot of days, I am on the Buff Del Campo channel where you are currently, and I am here with Buff Del Campo, and we spend a lot of time together on projects, and we really have been enjoying this live streaming thing, huh?
While you're talking, can you multitask?
No.
Oh, I was going to ask you. Colleen said she got a Mazda CX-7. Because we typed in something else there in the search. I was just see if you can search that so we can put it up.
They got a Mazda a CX-7.
CX-7. Which
is that like a SUV?
I believe it's an SUV.
Let's bring it up. Find out.
Yeah, okay, and then I'll bring that
we'll get back to all.
Yeah, we'll get back to that, but at least we'll get
that
up.
What color is it?
Yeah,
let's see.
Hey, look who's here.
Is here?
Kim, you know which Kim that is?
That is your friend Kim from.
That's Mrs. Dr. Go.
Oh, that's Mrs. Dr. Go. Welcome to the stream. Dirt Road Landing is here. Welcome to the stream. Bunch of people showing up. It's good to see from ya or hear
Well,
from
she
ya.
says it's black. We got a black one right up there. Oh, but it's in '07. I don't know what years we have up there. You could put 2007 in there so you could get the right year in your search.
Okay. Well, congratulations. That looks like a
Yeah.
heck of a good vehicle. He really loved his Mazda.
Oh, an Iceman came in. I didn't see that. I'm like, no, I got too much going at once already.
It
said
was
no
it
politics,
was
but
a
I'm
really
still
good
voting
vehicle.
for yes, I'm ketchup on hot dogs. Did they have that on the ballot? Man, there are people who would disagree with you. No ketchup on hot dogs, only mustard and other stuff. Yeah, but I put ketchup and mustard and mayo. And I can't eat the bread anymore, sadly. So I just eat the hot dog on a plate with all the other goodies that I can eat.
Oh, that's right. It's a bigger issue. Can you eat the bun? Toasted or not toasted buns?
Man, you're making me hungry. I like
How
all
did we
that.
start on food? It's
I
too
like all
early
that.
for food.
Okay, so now we got the '07 up there, and there's a black one. No, I don't see a black one, but you got a black one.
I didn't see a black one in the '07s, so
Well,
I
just
just
write
kind of.
black in the search. Mm.
Oh, what? That's how it works. We have technology. It can. Oh, there
Yeah,
it
see,
goes.
now they're all black ones.
We have technology.
It's KJ Kylie, Dirt Road Landing.
So it's a
Hello, everybody.
four-door crossover. Well,
That's a decent looking car, you know?
yeah. I'll bet you get lots of good use out of it. Does it have a lot of miles on it? Oh, bad turbo. So I was watching Car Wizard earlier today for a moment.
You watched that. The
and
Lincoln.
A Lincoln
Yeah.
with two bad turbos.
Yeah, you and I both watched that at different
So-
times. Okay.
And they were saying like $5,000 or whatever for turbos, right? And well, one of the big problems is catalytic converter. It depends on what state you're in, because in some states they do a lot of testing and inspection. You can't. It has to be exactly the way it was. But I'm thinking here in Tennessee, well, shoot, if you could get some catalytic converter cleaner and flush those out because they're clogged with oil. But if you can flush the catalytic converter out and then just eliminate the turbo, can you just eliminate a turbo and run the engine?
I don't know, but the other thing is, you got to remember the Car Wizard?
Yeah.
It's a shop. And you
yeah.
have something go out of your shop, it can't come back with trouble. You ruin your reputation.
Oh no!
So he's
I
got to
agree
do
with you
everything
there.
just right. Now, if you have it yourself, yeah, I'd clean out a cat. I'd try anything to make it work. But you know,
I'm just saying, if you saw and
look at all the votes for mustard and onions and slaw dogs and
I do
sauerkraut.
like sauerkraut on the dog.
Man, am I getting hungry?
See,
Okay, so go on with it. Go on with it.
We know what really polarizes people.
So we've got why can't I think it? Colleen with what did it say? It had a bad turbo. She says it's an easy fix, so she could probably get at it. Unlike that Lincoln, that was extremely difficult. It was like 10 hours to change a turbo.
So I know most of these vehicles that are turbo, that if you don't have the turbo, it's going to perform very weakly.
Becomes a pushmobile.
Really? Like that bad?
I don't know how bad it is.
Like, I'm wondering if you could get somebody like Dr. Art to retune the computer.
But it sounds like
and make it run decent without the turbo.
But she says it's an easy
turbo.
It's an easy turbo to replace.
And it's a 2007, so there's probably remanufactured turbos on the market for a reasonable price.
So that looks like that thing's probably gonna be nice.
Yeah, and turbos go out. I mean,
what size is the engine? I'm just curious. What size engine is it?
Yeah, tell us what size
is getting
engine.
turboed.
But
the cheeseburger is always superior to the hot dog. You know, I think you're right. But I can't have either.
How much was that Lincoln new? I'll bet you it's $70,000.
That's an expensive car.
So $5,000 for
but then
replacing the turbos. How are turbos lubricated? Um,
Engine oil.
yeah, usually they're pressurized oil feed from the
And
oil
then
pump.
there's a return to the
Yeah,
engine oil pan.
yeah, generally, and that's how they're usually lubricated and cooled by pressurized oil.
Now that Lincoln
It
that
had
he was working on was
it ran
also cooled by coolant from the cooling
by
system.
water cooled as well.
So there were a lot of connections up to that thing. But you know, that was so expensive repair that the owner decided not to do it. And basically, what he was saying was it was it totaled the car. You know, made the car cost that repair was worth more than what those cars cost. Of course, you buy another one, it might be just as bad.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Depending on the mileage and the condition.
She says it's a 2.3 4-cylinder. So a 2.3 4-cylinder Mazda will probably get pretty good fuel economy till you stick your foot in it, line the turbo up, and then it'll go like crazy. Yeah, I kind of like that. Our pressure line from the engine, pressured by oil pump.
Iceman's pretty much echoing what we just said.
Yeah, but he probably typed it and it didn't get there until
Yeah.
you know he was
Yeah,
probably he was probably ahead of us.
I'm sure. Yeah, he probably was. There's always a delay on the stream. We don't put a delay.
Did anyone know that BMW used coolant to cool alternators? I did know that, but I'd forgotten about it, and that just seems like a bad place to have coolant. Are you okay there? Maybe. JB, howdy, howdy. Hey, JB, how do you like that thumbnail?
Oh, I'm gonna go cough in the other room for a second.
Go cough in the
I
other
don't
room.
know why. Something hit me wrong.
Okay, I'm gonna reach over and grab your mouse and switch to
Oh my.
I don't know how to do that. I can't find your
Eco Boost. You either get Eco or
I
Boost.
wanted to
Well,
put
yes.
that picture back up.
Okay, let's do it.
But I couldn't figure out your system over there.
Well, it's confusing sometimes because the cursor shows up on both.
Well, that's way too big. Okay, there. And then maybe you can make us smaller. That made that bigger.
That's okay. I got to undo that. I had that from last time. Just give me a minute, folks. I'm getting it in line here. I'm getting it.
Okay, there we go. So,
I'll do this.
JB
and I'll do
was the one that found that car for me. And now, I got to go get it. It's mine. I just got to go get it.
We got to go to Texas.
So it'll be a fun run. As soon as we have a good weather window, we'll dash down there and back, and that'll be fun. Okay, did the 2.3 Mazda 4-cylinder engine have 8 spark plugs?
Oh, JB is here. Welcome to the stream.
Yeah,
Dougster Wolverine Garage is here. Welcome to the stream.
JB's why I brought this picture in, because he's the one that turned me onto this car.
Okay. Rods and Streetcars is here. Welcome to the stream. Okay. Sorry, I got a little bit fighting. Yes, it's a 200 inline 6-cylinder. We love the inline 6s here. An inline 6, a good motor.
Oh, I see.
Through multiple manufacturers.
Just look at that car. It's a Fox body. Yeah, it's like a Fairmont. What's this? It says Z7. Yeah, it is a Z7, but it's just like a Fairmont Futura. But yeah, there's some little trim differences. And it's a 200 cubic inch 6, which I'll drive it around for a while. That car only has 80,000 miles on it. It's 1978. It's been kept in a garage, so that's pretty good. But, sometime in the future, there could be a 351 Windsor living under the hood or whatever I feel like putting under there. But that's some time out there. We've got other projects. We got the aluminum car. We got to finish up her Dart. That engine's about ready to just final assembly and get it in. And what else? The aluminum car. I know there's something else saying. Oh, the Valiant. We still got to rebuild the other half of the front end, and God,
But we needed another car.
But this was to replace my Mazda. My Mazda was the car. I go out there and turn the key and go. I can do that with this car. Let's see here. I missed
I
some
don't
things here.
believe it. But I like the car, so I'm letting
But
you
if you're
get
gonna
it.
put some wheels on, oh, eventually probably, but right now,
No.
it's what it is. Um,
You know, that looks like a lot like the body style of that car that Dr. Go's got.
that's what he said. That's what he said. Yeah, Dougster says a 460. That's kind of heavy up front. I put a 429, which is the same thing as 460, and a C6 automatic and a Thunderbird one time, and I jacked it up, and it's the only time I saw my engine hoist flexing from the weight. It did it, but man,
He says it looks like a good candidate for the Eaton M90 upgrade, the 206 popper. Does that mean it will pop the motor, pop the head gasket, or does that mean it'll make it really pop?
I've got turbo sitting in that. What do you call that white cabinet?
The Mopar Cabinet of Mystery.
The Mopar Cabinet of Mystery. Used to be the airplane parts cabinet of mystery.
We dabble in Fords, but when it gets into GM stuff, it's on the other side of the garage. There's a big distinction. The GM car engine is on the most opposite side of the Mopar engine because they will fight. If you cannot leave them alone together.
You know what's wrong with that Chevy 350 and that Turbo 350 that I have bolted together over there in the shop? Every time I got to get to the cabinet where all the drill bits are, I trip over it.
At least it's high and dry. It is.
I trip over it, and there's a little oil leaking out where we've got it taped up on the tail shaft, so it makes a mess on the floor, and I trip over it and I track oil around. I'm so sick of that. It's like I got to put that Chevy in something. I should have bought a Nova, huh? Man, you know Mexican Spec had so many good cars. Man, his are really good and they're really expensive. So, well, I shouldn't say they're really expensive. They're really expensive compared to this car. So, yeah, I mean, I only got so much for the Mazda. That blue Mustang he had, man, I wanted that thing, but yeah, couldn't do it. Dirt road landing Mopar or
JB's
no
Little Shop is here.
Yes.
Welcome to the stream, JB. All right, now we have a moderator, so if anybody gets funny, come in here yelling.
I said no politics, but then we had a thing in here about voting for what to put on a hot dog. And it's okay.
That's as political as
that's as political as I want to get.
Yeah, we're gonna.
And we really didn't vote on it. We just kind of had a discussion of whether ketchup belonged on the hot dog or not.
Here in the stream, we are apart from that. Later tonight and tomorrow and for the next 2 months, you will hear all kinds of stuff about that other stuff that's going on in the world. But just for this moment, we are together and we are safe from too much of that.
Dougster says, name suggestion, the Brown Bomber, like Led Zeppelin 2 album cover. I don't know.
Are you gonna freshen up that pinstripe? Put a new pinstripe on?
I don't know what I'm gonna do. When it gets here, that car's been kept in a garage since 1978. I mean, you know. That's
well, let's hope good. Let's hope we're gonna have to do maintenance. I'm sure there's gonna be things that we have to do. But
John Hart's here.
John, welcome to the stream. It's good to hear from you. I'm so sorry.
Mr. Wood.
I have. Oh, John brought us a gift. Thank you so much,
John brought us wood.
John, for your generous gift. Yeah, I'm really not up to doing that chore just right now, but we got it out of the weather.
Talking about tires. The guy that had this car, I think his father or grandfather, somebody probably had it. He looks like he's, I don't know. I've talked to him quite a bit. He's like 30 something, maybe 40 years old. And so I think it's probably his father's or grandfather's. And he says what they do with it is they drive it to the local car shows and things. So it's been currently licensed. He says the tires are plenty good enough to drive. So I believe they probably are. So anyway.
We'll have to check them. If there's a problem with them, we'll have to deal with it on the road. We'll figure it out. We're car people. We know how to get home in a car that already runs and drives. Heck.
Yeah, Ice Man, send me anything like that. I like stuff like that. Oh, I should probably check.
Slaw dogs sound intriguing.
Man, I like slaw.
On a dog, though, a hot dog,
Yeah, I don't know about on a hot dog, but on.
I'll eat chili
Oh, you
and
know what I
relish
need
on
to
a
do?
hot dog.
I did turn this. I thought I was going to blast this out here.
And the difference between the thing about a cheeseburger versus a hot dog is there's actually more meat on a hot dog, I think. Maybe not. Yeah, I don't know. Completely different meal.
Iceman sent us a picture, so I'm downloading them. Um, Gotta pay
And
attention when
we
I'm
were
doing
talking
it.
about the 318s, right? And I have been trying to break myself out of the hyper focus on slant sixes because you can only build so many slant sixes, or maybe like Professor P is like very slant six, but see,
Oh,
he builds other stuff
what
too.
is this thing?
Oh, is it a tug? It looks like a forklift
Iceman, what
built
did
into a
Did
car.
Iceman say what he's sending me here? I don't know. Scroll
It
up.
definitely looks like it used to be a forklift.
Okay, and then he sent more stuff, which is, um, I don't know if I'm gonna go the right
I
direction
don't
here.
like
No,
coleslaw
no,
really.
you don't like coleslaw.
No. She said, "Don't knock it till you try it, Kim." Well,
Okay, what is this? That's
look like a forklift
it's
engine.
an engine. It's gonna do it. Oh, okay, for sale. 1960s or 70s, Pettibone, airplane tug. Not 100% sure on the year. It has 4-cylinder Perkins diesel. Made it to Ford automatic transmission. Tug runs and drives good. No brakes though. Oh yeah, who needs brakes when you're towing an airplane, right? And weighs just over 8,500 pounds. Would prefer to trade for something cool. Interesting. Send me what you got. Worst I could say is no. Thanks for looking. So that's what this thing is. Where the heck is it? I don't know where it is. Just a minute. Let me go back. Maybe it says where it is. Oh, it's one of those stupid pictures. Let's see. Don't know. But anyway, no, I don't think I need that.
Oh, speaking of machines, I got the skid loader running today, and I was doing okay today. I got the skid loader running. It needed hydraulic oil, and it needed I put gas in the tank, and the first thing it did, that little valve on off valve I put on there, it leaked. The O ring or whatever in it, garbage, garbage. Didn't last one season. So
You already got a bad
I had to take the
fuel
shut
valve.
off valve out of the system. So the problem with that is then it just that leaks. So I need to get another fuel shut off valve, but one that's not garbage quality apparently.
Plymouth offered the Perkins in 1959 through 61 on a model appropriately named Taxi. I didn't know that. The first time I ever heard of a Perkins engine, I was in Canada like 40 years ago or something. And I went for riding a boat. And I was in my 20s, and it was a young kid running the boat. And looked like he was, I mean, if he was 18, might have been 18. But we took us out on a lake on this tour and everything. Came back when he parked that boat. He's sitting there with the two engines, working the throttles back and forth and moving the boat and bumped it onto the dock. And he was really skilled with those two engines. And I asked him what engines were in it. And he goes, "Oh, they're Perkins diesels." Okay. But that was the first time I ever even heard one run. Sheriff Lobo's deputy was named Perkins. Let me send pics. Hang on. Yeah, okay. I'll be looking for the pics.
Yeah. So I got my skid loader running today, and we got
KFC mashed taters and gravy always kicked ass too. You know what, Dan? Get the mashed potatoes and get the coleslaw, and then I'll trade you. I'll take two coleslaws, and you can have two mashed potatoes. I think KFC's mashed or their coleslaw is like one of the best. So when I make coleslaw, I always chop it up into little tiny pieces like that. But I can't match the dressing. I wish I could. It was an LX. It was in my GLD 92 GT. What are you looking at? They're mashed potatoes? You get pictures of mashed potatoes?
I mean, that's what we're talking about. I might as well put pictures up. We're just gonna talk about food. All right, we're gonna talk about food. I thought it was a car channel, but if we're gonna talk about food, we'll talk about food.
Perkins,
That's what
that's
you
right.
guys like.
Perkins is a restaurant too.
It's all y'all care about.
Can we
Food.
see through that? Yeah, we can. My drink is green, so you can see through it. Oh, you love your coleslaw too.
It's a relatable content though. Everybody has their opinions about food, so I guess that's what we'll talk about for a little
Rob's
bit.
rods and street cars. You laughing at us?
I was trying to talk about current events here at the Buff Del Campo, but no.
Okay, so yeah, so this is my. Oh, it doesn't matter. It's not up there.
You want to talk about your car?
No, no, it's fine. You can put up potatoes if you want.
It's all right. So this is our goal, and yes, we're absolutely going to document our trip. It's going to be one of those with much bravado, and we've been trying to decide: are we going to take the Jeep? The Jeep is cheap to move. It's easy to drive. It'll just breeze right down there. Or do we take the van and the tow dolly?
Oh, then we got to pull a drive shaft and all. I don't know. See this? It says that where was it? Was closing time food. Oh, here you go, Kim. Lester LeSabre says try some sour cream mixed in with the slaw dressing. She likes sour cream on things.
I do like sour cream on things, but
and I do sometimes. Yeah, I might try that. The best dressing I found. Now I'm gonna have a big old brain meltdown.
I do
Bobby
like
Flay,
green beans and corn.
Bobby Flay had a slaw dressing on his website, and I copied it and did it, and it was really good. Now he put like wet mustard in. There were other people used the dry, like the Chinese mustard. So I substituted that, and I kind of like that better. But you got to be careful with that stuff because it gets kind of hot. But his Bobby Flay's was pretty good. So would that Zephyr typically have a C4 transmission? I'm told it does, but I really don't know. It's a 6-cylinder. So, wow, what are you doing here? Mustard.
Spicy brown mustard. I just want to bring it up since we're talking about it.
See
Trying
that-
to be visually
See that one up in the. See, I'm gonna reach up and grab your mouse. See that one right there? Can they see that?
I don't think they can see the mouse.
Up in the upper right-hand corner, almost. There's some really seedy kind of mustard that
all
says
the way up.
Male. Old Spice. I'll right?
Click on it.
You'll click on it. That stuff is so good, man.
He does like it. He likes it.
Buff, is that car the one Ford Motor Company had problems with the rims fusing to the brake drums? Not that I know of. There was a Thunderbird that had that problem, and I used to. Oh man, I had one. I took the lug nuts off and just barely put them on. I went out in the parking lot and spin around donuts one way and the other way, and I couldn't get the wheels loose. They had like a plastic fused on stuff onto the steel wheel, and I had to get in there with a torch and I had to heat the wheel, and the only way to do it was to melt that plastic. And I told the woman, I'm going to destroy that wheel taking it off. But she was down to the point where the air was starting to show through the tires. It had so much cord showing. She couldn't drive any further, and the only reason she hadn't changed the tires because she couldn't get the wheels off. So I've had these cars, and I've never had a problem with them getting wheels on them. I mean, this is the same thing as a Fox Body Mustang underneath. Okay, let's see. So I don't know. The 6-cylinder may have a C4 in it. I'm told that it does, but
it's likely to have a C4.
But I don't know.
Because what else would it have? It have a C6, and I'm sure it doesn't have a C6.
And I doubt it has an FMX under it. No, none of that would make sense.
Yeah,
it's probably a C4.
We'll find out when we get home.
Let's see here. My friend Cliff had a slate gray 74 GMC long box with a Perkins diesel and an adapter plate to run a GM 4-speed setup. It got really good mileage and didn't like driving under 80 miles an hour. That's amazing. Let's see here. Toyota's the first car I ever had It sees the wheels to the hubs. John Hart says, nice looking car. Thank you. It's JB, JAYB, JB, that found this for me. Okay, I've got JB sending me pictures, so wonder why they took off the wiper arms. Okay, wiper arms are off because the wiper motor's off. A lot of that stuff's disconnected. All the pieces and parts are in the trunk. I'm aware of that. He also has a broken window roll-up mechanism and everything on the driver's side. So right now the driver's window's taped up, but there's new window, all the new parts there, and he showed me pictures of that. So I'm pretty good with that. See, I don't know. Zephyr could have C3 or C4, and I don't know anything about the C3. Know nothing about it. Okay, let's see. I once had a rear wheel so seized on my Corolla that I backed off the lug nuts a hair and drove it probably for 100 miles on the highway too before it broke loose. Oh, that Thunderbird, I had that thing. I backed the lug nuts way off, and I'd go like this and jerk it to one side, and jerk it to the other side, jerk it to the other side, and spin around. I didn't want to thrash on the car that much, but I figured that would take it loose. Nope. I don't think you needed lug nuts. It was just seized on there. I hate to hear everyone's feelings, but we all need to stop buying products that says contain bioengineered ingredients. It's really changed what I eat. Okay. Okay, let's see here. I need to download some pictures. Kim, if you can keep us going there for a minute. Having trouble with there. Oh, there's a whole bunch of stuff here. Did Dr. Ghost stop it? Dr. Ghost stopped in, didn't he?
Lester LeSabre, yeah.
Okay,
Lester
so I have a
LeSabre
bunch
said
of.
my 79 Zephyr had a 302 with a C4 from the factory.
I had a 78 with a 302 C4. It was a wagon. And then I had one of these cars that's. Can we put my car back up? I had one of these cars. It was a Ford instead of a Mercury. So I had a different grill and different taillight. But other than that, it's the same thing. It had a 4-cylinder in it, but I pulled it out and I put a 302 and a C4 in that. Man, that thing, this 302 is built pretty nicely, but that was well, then I started breaking rear end parts. But after I got all that fixed, it was a pretty nice car, So I've been around these enough to know what the downside of them is. And Dr. Go, if you're still here, I'll get to your pictures, but I'm downloading a bunch of others right now. I know you had pictures in here from last week that I didn't get to, but I'm downloading JB's and there's a whole ton of them. So
Danny Boyd said he once had a rear wheel so seized on a Corolla that he backed off the lug nuts and drove it 100 miles on the highway before it broke loose on the highway. I had a wheel come loose on a highway one time. Boy, it was like.
Okay, I'm gonna bring.
I lost a couple of lug nuts, and it was hanging on by a couple of lug nuts, and it was like wobbling. And I was like, "What is this vibration?"
First, I'm gonna bring up Dr. Go's pictures.
Oh,
look at that! You know what that is? That's American Graffiti cars. Oh, holy crap! Nice. Yeah, I like all of those. My favorite would be the 32 Ford. My next favorite would be the 58 Chevy, and last would be the 55. But yeah, those are all great cars. I had to drive cross country with broken wipers using Rain-X allowed the water to roll off driving through 1,000 miles of rain. But after you told me it makes wipers stutter, yeah, I don't use it. It can. What we're going to do is just wait for a weather window and then get down there and get back. And, he goes, oh, he goes, I'm not a mechanic, but I'll fix all that. And I said, well, don't worry about it, because we're going to do it on the YouTube channel. It'll be part of our content. And then he came back to me today and he goes, I've been watching your YouTube channel, and he subbed to it, so he could stop in here, I guess. Uh, okay, what's this? An AMC Matador or a Rebel, one or the other. I think it's a Matador. And this is one of Dr. Go's. What a gathering. Those are actual American graffiti cars from the movie. Also a few actors. Looks like it's at the Gilmore Car Museum. I think it was at Dr. Gold. Say what you know what it is. I can never think of the name of that place. Iola?
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. There's another one, Dr. Go.
And they're saying that
It's a 59.
that American graffiti car, which was also used in two-lane blacktop, and Iceman says that it looks like it's at the Gilmore Car Museum.
And that's when I said it was.
You said that.
Oh, it was.
Sorry.
At Iola. And here's a 59 Chevy with some rather cute little dogs. And the dogs remind me. Yeah, I went back and I watched Uncle Tony's rant. And
Yeah.
that rant, did you watch it?
Oh man, he cursed those people.
That rant, that's what should be on our network television. That's what should be there. I mean,
he cursed those people.
He
good old fashioned Italian.
He went after him like he should have. And anybody that hasn't seen that, if it's still up, go watch it. He left it up. Yeah, go watch it. Okay, so that's a 3. Don't watch it now. Watch it later. So that's a 59 Chevy with a 348. That's pretty cool. If you ever find yourself around Kalamazoo, you definitely need to visit the Gilmore. Plan on spending a full day. You know, I'm like that in museums.
Thanks,
I'm terrible.
man.
I'm terrible about it. I'll go to a museum, and it's like a day isn't enough. Cope, how you doing? Live on election night. Yeah, this is the alternative election, which is cars and transmissions, and right now dogs on the screen here, and yeah, it's like, I mean, there was some discussion in here you might want to get involved in. That was our people wanted to vote on whether they should put ketchup on hot dogs or not, and
that's our serious
and
conversation.
That's our serious.
It doesn't get much more.
That's our serious controversy this evening.
That's our controversy.
Okay, here's more from Dr. Go. Pink. It's a 68 Firebird. Oh, JB's asking to see the 68 Firebird. I just brought it up because I had it up earlier. Let's see here. What else? More. Oh, yeah. Somebody even wrote 68 Pontiac in front of it. Does it have a 68 grill in it? Does it have it? It does. You know, see this crossbar? Can they see this? Okay. This hand on here.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, they can see the little hand.
Can you guys see my cursor?
Yeah, they can.
That bar right there on a 68 looks like this. On a 67, that bar comes up and it wraps around up onto this divider here. And now you see them mixed up. But it used to be, you could tell a 67 from a 68, but so many have been changed now due to one reason or another. But the way to look really is the no vent windows, no side vent windows on the 68. Oh, nasty. I know what that's about.
It doesn't like that on hot dogs.
Doesn't like that ketchup on hot dog. Okay. So here we have.
Patrick Sullivan says there's no front marker light.
Oh yeah, on a 67, you're right. There's that's a 68. Let's see. Let me go back.
Go up a little bit.
It looks like somebody has eliminated it.
Push it up a little bit. Up a little bit. There you go. They can't see anything. What is that?
Well, that's a Firebird. It should be. Oh, I know. This wraps around. This light wraps around. That probably counts for the side marker light. Because the parking light wraps around the side, and that was the requirement that you could see it from the side.
John says that must be a Mary Kay car. That would explain the pink.
Could be a Mary Kay car.
And Dr. Go says that the cars were celebrating women who are car owner builders. So
Behind that rope.
either that or breast cancer awareness, or maybe they just liked pink.
Pepto-Bismol car. Okay.
Pepto-Bismol?
Okay, so let's see what else
It's
I'm
pink.
after here. I don't know what this is. Is this still something Dr. Go sent? No, this is, I don't know what this is. I'm lost. What is this? What is this? I don't know what this is. This is somebody sent this. Chip black. Nova anyway. Okay, so now I'm gonna go further. Now I'm back to the stuff I looked at before. Okay, so now I'm gonna look at some other people's cars. Let's see here. Okay, here we go. Plymouth Diesel Taxi Cab. Amazing. Never knew about this.
Oh, with a Perkins diesel. I'll be darned.
That's amazing. Looks like a rocket ship. It's got a diesel in it. I can just hear that running. Oh, that's pretty cool. Let's see what else we got here. Nope, wrong way. Wrong way. I think I went the wrong way. What's going on here? Oh yeah,
it's
that's
Perkins
it.
diesel tag.
That's a Perkins diesel tag that went on that Plymouth.
That's cool.
And there's the dashboard to that Plymouth. I can't move that. I guess people can see it if I duck out of the way.
Yeah, duck out of the way.
See, and it's got, in the old Chrysler fashion, it's got little push buttons on the horn ring.
Oh,
that's kind of,
so you can.
Yeah, you can. And then, let's see what else. Oh, there it is. Look at that. Look at that. Looks like it's at home in there. Oh, that's crazy. I never knew about that.
Dougster says all the Mary Kay cars were Luxo barges when I was a kid. Yeah, that makes sense. They're
I used to see they were big Cadillacs a lot of times. I saw one that was one of the newer Cadillacs, like a CTS or something, CTS wagon, and it was pink and it was a Mary Kay car.
And JB says that Firebird is factory pink mist,
which
is
that's
a special order car, very rare. Oh wow, that was a factory color. That's amazing.
His mom's friend had a Mary Kay Thunderbird car lettered up. Whole gambit. She wore a pink blazer.
Oh, she was Mary Kay, dyed in the wool, huh?
Well, there it is. Look at that. Is that a what? What is that? Oh, I can't read that. What it is?
What do you mean?
I can't read where that license plate is from.
Oh, that's AI, babe.
No, what's it say up here?
It's AI. They scrambled words.
Made it all messed up. Well, it's
Yeah.
DeKalb County, so it's probably Georgia.
Yeah. I'm teasing. It's not AI, people. It's old.
It's an old license plate.
The barn is AI barn dust.
She knows how I get upset over AI videos. You know, you watch one of these videos on an old car.
Tim, that's why we're here. We don't want to. We're not watching. All day I didn't watch no election coverage. They'll tell me tonight. They'll tell me tomorrow. And they might talk about it for weeks. You just don't know. And like, enough of that. It'll be there when we're done here. We have fun. We'll talk about hot dogs and we'll talk about cars and whatever we want to talk about. And all that'll be
and
there.
Tavo's here.
I'll be up till
good evening or probably good afternoon there. The Playmates of the Year got their choice of that model year car in pink. I saw a lot of Playmate of the Year cars. There was one that who redid one. It was
membership have its privileges.
It was an AMC. It was either a Javelin or an AMX. I'm thinking it was an AMX. It was a pink one that somebody redid, and they really did a nice job on it. And it was not all that long ago.
I'm back
Man, that's
just in.
amazing. That thing had Perkins diesel in it
My
from the factory.
throat is so itchy. I don't want to just sit here and cough.
She made a fortune selling cosmetics. Her name was Zona. A couple of their cars have become famous Mopars. Oh, and here's this different steering wheel. Okay, let's see. What else do I have here? I'm going to close that. That puts my car back up there. Let's see what else I have that's in the in here. Okay, now I got to go back to my email and see if anybody else sent. Oh yeah. Oh, Sayer's here. Oh, I don't see him, but he's here. He's sending me stuff.
Sorry, folks. Just another minute while I get my.
I'm trying to comment on your live stream, but my chats are not going through. I think someone blocked me. Really? Okay, let's see what the problem is. I've heard of that on other channels, but I haven't heard of it on this one. This is a first for me, so let me try to work it out. I don't know how to do that.
Okay. What you'll want to do is you'll want to bring up your live.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
Control
I'm
panel.
doing that. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, someone.
Here, I will entertain while you do that.
Kim, why are you stuck in the middle of that? Oh, I see, because you were.
There's a delay.
There's a delay.
This is not your control panel. You're just watching.
I'm just watching. Yeah, I don't know how to get to where I need to go.
Okay, you got to go into your the icon with. I'm sorry, people. We're not going to be long.
So now we
want to
have,
fix our
now
friend
we're gonna get
stuck
into
out
the,
of here.
into the weeds of YouTube. Okay, go into which one?
Go into analytics. Click on analytics. Down lower left. Blue button.
Oh, those analytics. Okay. Okay, now what?
Go over to the chat.
Okay.
And see what you can find in the 3 buttons. See if you can find a list of people who are in the chat, maybe.
Participants.
Yes.
Not many there. Well, it says we have 22, and right here there's like about 6, 7. Okay, so what do I do there? Why would that happen? He comes in here all the time. Why would that happen? We haven't blocked anybody. I gave somebody a 24-hour timeout because they were being stupid. But that wasn't you. That was somebody I'd never seen before. They popped in and I gave them a timeout and they never came back. Because they were in here just saying dumb stuff. I wish Mexican Spec was here. He's good at figuring this stuff out. Can I get out of this thing here, or do you want me to stay here?
Well, you can get out of the little thing where it says participants. You want bigger chat there? You can get out of there. It's fine. Guys, I'm so sorry.
Live viewers. What's this? It doesn't.
No, that's just
It doesn't tell me anything. Okay, now I'm back to that. Kim, I don't know what to do. How come we got him accidentally blocked or something? What the heck? Yeah, that's Sayer. Okay, so you switched to live chat, or you did something over there. I wasn't looking. Oh, Sorry. I mean, we can still keep talking about cars, but we're gonna try to troubleshoot this issue because Sayer's when we're in the shop doing lives, Sayer's almost always there, and don't know why this has happened.
I'm gonna have to do some research on it. Like we can't just stop the
No,
stream.
I know. It's like this is okay, can you bring our mic back? So,
Oh,
oh, there he is.
he's using an
Oh,
alt account.
using it. Looks like I'll
Thank
have to
you.
use. Okay, well, good. You're here. I'm sorry, as we don't know what's wrong, and we'll have to get one of our Mexican Spec's probably the sharpest one of our. Well, I shouldn't say that. He's sharp enough.
Sarah, do you
He's
have
sharp
a,
enough
a
to.
beef going with JB's Little Shop? Did he ban you from the stream?
Okay, can you?
What's up?
I want my microphone back.
Oh, okay. Well, yes, I can do that.
Okay,
Just
there.
ask.
Okay. So I have to use my altogether. Okay, well, good. You're here. If I sync my phone to the YouTube app on my TV, I can't send text to the stream. So I watch on TV and text separately. I see. Oh, yeah, it's YouTube. YouTube does some strange stuff. Sometimes I'm doing something with YouTube. It's like, what's wrong? It never did this before. And I'll show Kim, and she goes, It's not us, it's them." And within a day or two, it's straightened out. But I hate to have it happen in the middle of a live stream. I don't know what's going on.
The things we learn, the things we've learned. I'm telling you, the technical. It seems so easy. There's all these happy little buttons, but when something doesn't work, then you're into it, trying to figure out when one of these things, like somebody who's always in the chat and giving good stuff, it's not like there's trolling and saying stuff they shouldn't be saying that they would get banned. So it's strange.
I've never banned anybody. Like I
I
said,
don't even, how do I even search to how to fix this problem? Like, what do I look for?
I gave like I said, I gave a guy a 24-hour timeout because he was just tearing the thing up with dumb stuff. I had to get rid of him.
You know what this reminds me of is the problem we were having when uh, YouTube would moderate comments on videos, and you would see that someone made a comment, but then it wouldn't be anywhere. You couldn't find it again.
Oh, it disappears by itself.
It would disappear by itself, and then comments would show up weeks later. And there was no apparent reason why they had been moderated. That was such a problem. And then it kind of went away.
Well, it's like when YouTube put up they said, okay, shorts can be, instead of 1 minute, could be 3 minutes. Okay,
Yeah, no.
So we did one that was a little bit over a minute. Like it was a minute and something. A minute and 13 seconds or something. So I put it up. Well, it shut it off right at a minute. So there's no continuity. It didn't make any sense because it just abruptly ended. And then trying to watch a short, they just sit there and spin and spin and spin, and you get a black screen. And that morning that they rolled out the 3 minute shorts, the whole shorts thing went down. And then they came
For 2 days, yeah.
then they came up with a video that said that, well, they're having some trouble and that they're rolling out the 3 minute shorts
in stages.
in stages or something.
Like, no, you
and
said
and
that's
it's
not what you said was going to happen.
Still hasn't come up. So I don't know. They had some, obviously some software issues.
Sarah said that they just that tow motor you showed earlier. It's funny because I just overhauled one for BC Ferries.
BC Ferries. That must be British Columbia Ferries.
I've never rebuilt a diesel motor. I would like to someday.
I've never been into a diesel engine.
Neat.
Dean Steve was a 7.0 first Islander. Look after South Australia for me, buddy. So
Dougster Wolverine Garage was working on a 79 Yamaha XS750, helping a friend diagnose a no spark problem. Electrical gremlins. I hope it's going better
Sarah
for you,
says,
Dougster. Did you get it working?
And how I believe the Thunder Chickens were Ford's true muscle car with a touch of class. The original Ford Thunderbirds they kind of hit something I think they didn't expect to hit, which is kind of a 2-seat luxury car. And when they went to the 4-seat Thunderbird in 58, I mean, they lost a lot of their people that liked the 2-seaters. But man, there are a lot more people like the 4-seaters, and they sold so many of those things, and I guess that worked out for them. And then the Thunderbird got bigger and bigger and bigger, and pretty soon it was on the Lincoln chassis. It's like, what? Then they went small again, the little 2-seaters. It didn't sell. So I don't know. I sure liked them, but when I was looking for this car, I was looking for a Fox body. I was also looking at those 2-seat Thunderbirds, the ones that were 02, 03, 04. But they got electronics in them. It's a British engine. It's like Jaguar stuff underneath. And I was like, it says Ford on it, but nah, I kind of want a Fox body. And I got one.
Dougster's talking about his diagnosis of the motorcycle. He says that the coil pickups were the same in ohms, and the coils themselves checked out ohms wise. So he is thinking a bad CDI box. Yeah, that. Yeah, CDI boxes are tough because you can't, like, they put out that big voltage, and if
How much
they're tough.
how much current do those draw? A lot or a little?
Current does a CDI box draw?
No, the coils.
Oh, I don't know. It's
Because if
high.
you get bad wires or wires that have a lot of corrosion on them or something, you'll have continuity, and they'll show the
Well, yeah,
same in ohms,
make
but
sure
that doesn't
everything is
mean
clean.
they'll
I
they'll work
assume
right.
Dougster's smart enough to know about that.
Yeah, look at
Check your
voltage drop across them.
voltage drop. Yeah, can be a problem because it needs a lot of what like 50 volts AC usually on those CDI boxes. Although I don't know, it might be DC because it's a motorcycle. I don't know. You're out of my wheelhouse at some point, but it sounds like you're hot on the trail. Is a CDI box absurdly expensive for one of those motorcycles? 79 Yamaha. I'll bet you.
She had one of these things going with the ignition problems on
I figured
a
out
motorcycle.
that the I figured out that the pickup coil on, because it was a little like 50cc scooter, the pickup coil was only putting out about 30 volts, and it needs more like 50 for the CDI to charge and fire. So, but I never checked like the ohms or anything like that, so I don't know how badly it tested. But so everything worked, but it didn't work enough, and I don't know why. But I did finally I never got that motor running, but I did learn a lot about CDI systems in the process of tinkering.
Sarah says, "Well, now you all know I am a 60-year-old YouTube gamer on the side. This is my gaming channel."
Oh yeah?
I spent a Thunderbird from 1980 on was the best Ford had to offer until 1997 when they killed it. I looked at Thunderbirds too. I looked at a lot of Thunderbirds,
I saw a couple nice Thunderbirds,
like
yeah.
the ones like Dallas has that style Thunderbird.
The Thunderbirds were a lot less likely. The ones that I saw were a lot less likely to have been like modified. Like people modify the Mustangs. You can't get an old Mustang that hasn't been played with.
I had one of these before, and I've had a bunch of Fairmonts, but these have kind of I would say chop top. It's a lower top, and I think it just looks better than most of the Fairmonts with the box tops. And I kind of wanted one of these, and that's what I was looking for. And JB found it, sent me a link, and I was like, "Oh man, yeah, that's what I want." Then I was just waiting on my insurance check to come in so I could get it.
Sayer, anyways, this is community stream, so Sayer has a YouTube gamer channel. So check that out. What kind of games do you like to play?
Oh no, don't start gaming in here. But I guess we can talk about it for a minute.
I mean, he's a
I'm not a gamer.
Okay,
let's see.
A valued community member.
Yeah.
And some people might like to watch gaming content sometimes. I don't know. A lot of you probably don't, but I sometimes watch it at night when I'm tired. And I'm too tired to research stuff, and I just want to like veg out. There's a couple of gamers I like to watch.
John Hart's taking off. Good night.
He'll be back.
I'm sorry you had to.
He says he'll be back later.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Check your chassis ground. I agree. Always check your grounds. Tapo's here. Did you see that?
Yes.
You already yelled that out, and
Yes.
I was like, no.
You were zoned out
I was
somewhere.
talking about a gaming channel.
I said good evening, it's Tavo, and I said, well, and then I took the back and said, well, it's probably good afternoon for you. So yeah, Tavo's going to be disappointed because I didn't buy a Chrysler product.
Yes. Oh,
Tavo, did you have these things down there? These this style Fairmont? I don't know if you had them there. The 80 through 80, the 80 through 82 Thunderbird was much like the Fairmont Zephyr. Yeah, I remember those. They're a little bigger and a little. I don't know. I looked at a lot of Thunderbirds. I looked at a Thunderbird that had a kit on it to make it look like a 1951 Ford, and I liked that kit, but it's a little weird, and I don't know. I just decided to, and it had some problems.
this is the car, Tavo. We're gonna go get it. It's in Texas, which is it's
So,
like 13 hours away. Is that how far it was?
see, I guess I've been missing a few things. I take it you found your ideal car. This is this is what I wanted. This Zephyr.
Ideal. I mean, the car is a
I was
really nice.
I was looking for a Fox body, and the Mustangs are just way too much money. These are less money. This one has 80,000 miles on it, kept in a garage since it was new. I mean, it's in Texas with the hood open. You look at it, there's not a spot of rust anywhere. So, you know, it's that's what I want. And I looked at a lot of them, but you open the hood. There was one over near the Gulf Coast, and it didn't look like it had rust on it. You open the hood, and there's just everything under the hood was rusty. It's like that. It's a salt air coming in from the ocean, from the Gulf Coast, and it's like it was a pretty good car, except when you see the hood open, I know what I'm getting. It's not good.
Yeah, no, no. We want to start with a good car because we want this one to be a very reliable get in and drive turnkey car. Iceman is heading out for the night.
Where did I
Thanks
miss
for
that?
being here.
Oh, I
He's
see. Okay.
um we'll see you again soon, hopefully. Um uh Dougster agrees that he should check the kill switch control. Yeah, that would mess you up if there's a yeah, because when you hit the kill switch, it
It
does
kills it.
it goes straight to the CDI box. CDI.
Okay.
The kill switch goes to the CDI box. So if you're getting a malfunction, it would. I think that's pretty easy though. If you could just disconnect the kill switch wire and then the CDI box should work or not work. Because you can't turn the power off from the pickup coils. So it's not turning off the power, it's deactivating the CDI box. Let's see.
Get Sarah next.
Sayre says that his channel is a bragging rights channel, and he plays Genshin Impact. I've heard of that game, but I have not watched it enough to really. And he's been playing for 4 years. It's a bad habit. I used to play Minecraft.
He says he doesn't drink, and that's why I'm thinking I drink, but I drink soft drinks mostly. I'm not opposed to drinking, and occasionally I have a drink, but it's like a couple times a year, you know. And really, I don't, because I'm diabetic and I just can't do that.
My bad habit has been buying old junk cars and then trying to revive them. And I found that there's no money in it. It's just a bad habit.
You push them over the edge.
It's just a bad habit. It's just a time and energy sink. It's a hobby.
We did have a Fairmont, but nothing to do with the U.S. Fairmont. Ours was an upmarket version of the Falcon. See, when the Falcon ended in the U.S. 1969, it continued for a long time in Australia, and I'm sure the underside of that car was nothing like the original Falcon. I should go look at some pictures and hoods open and chassis and everything so I understand that car better. But I sure like the looks of some of those Falcons, those big two doors that look like they're obviously Ford-looking cars, but they're nothing we had here. Pretty good-looking stuff.
Tavo says, now you have a classic daily. You can have less reservations on getting the angle grinder out on that value.
That is
I agree.
exactly right. Because
I
I
know.
was talking to Kim about that. She pointed that Valiant. She goes, "You don't even like that car," and it's sitting there, just sitting, leaves
We
falling
did
on it.
all that
And
work and it's just sitting
and I
there.
said, it needs the other half of the front end rebuilt. And now she took the tires off, tires and wheels for her
I
car.
borrowed them because we had to get to No Name Nationals and we
So
needed.
so it's like, okay, there's some stuff to do, but the aluminum car is going to come first, and then probably that one, and this
And we're gonna
one.
have to work on
This is
this because
this
this
is a
fits.
daily driver, but this is going to get maintenance. It's going to get the oil changed. I'm going to look at the brakes, make sure there's enough, you know, pads to stop the car, and maybe tires if it has to have them. But if not, I'll drive it. The windshield wiper motor and the windshield wipers, all that needs to be fixed. I know that, so that'll be a little content, but it's not going to be. That's all. It's going to be some little repairs, and then a year or two from now, year from now, I don't know. Whenever the other projects are done, who knows? I might put an engine in this thing, make it quicker. But the 206 will get me around just fine. Um, Sayer says, when you own every tool under the sun, have no bad habits and spare money. Oh, I'm the same as you, except for the spare money. And love games since 1976 when I got my first ever computer. Well, play gotcha games is like gambling. Man, I've been addicted to things before. I lived in Pennsylvania, and I was divorced, and my son would spend time with his mother and spend time with me. Well, he shows up one time. He's got a thing called a Game Boy. Well, he fell asleep, and I started messing with it. It had, remember Tetris?
Well, I like that Tetris. Yeah.
I got addicted to that because of his Game Boy. I couldn't put it down. And of course, I let him use it. It was his. But then it was on my computer, and I mean, I was addicted to that game. But I've had to stop that.
I'm gonna get you a Tetris emulator on your
No,
computer.
no, no, no.
It'll
Yeah,
be
the
up
angle
all night.
grinder. That's what'll happen to that Valiant, though. We'll finish it. We'll finish up the. We'll make it so it runs nicely, which means fixing the rest of the front end.
And I
Getting.
did the front end on the Dart,
Oh,
so I mean, I'm
we're
getting
getting
pretty good at it.
we're getting better at that.
I'm getting pretty good at it. I should be able to get it that torsion bar out of there pretty quick. And then we figured out how to do the redo the insert on the torsion bar thing, and then it'll go back together. It'll be ready to go. We'll have to take it someplace and have them do the full alignment, and then fresh tires, and it'll be
Well,
ready
and
to
then like Tavo says, I may go after the angle grinder. I mean, I
we've
got
got
plenty of
dimensions.
got sheet metal. Tavo supplied me with
I
dimensions.
have
I've got
the bed from that Ford. We
yeah.
can cut the bed sides off and
I
use the
mean, that
bed pan.
that just may turn into a
Bed pan, is that the wrong word for that?
bedpan. Yeah, probably a bedpan's like for. There's another use for a bedpan.
I remember when we were measuring that the bed from the Dakota was really close to being right dimensions, and that Ford is a short bed just like the
That,
Dakota. So
that Ford, the floor will work fine. Bed, yeah, the bed,
it's in
the
good
floor.
shape. One of the fender flares was a little bit rusty, but the rest of that bed was in really good shape, not rusty at all. So
So yeah, I may do that. Let's see here. Sarah says used to own a 83 Magna Carta V65 and the kill switch always went bad and the oil sensor too can prevent spark as bikes from 73 up have an oil temp shut off.
boy, would that be an
Uh,
obnoxious gremlin to chase down
yeah,
an oil temp shutoff that was failing.
that's where you really have to know systems. Like in the Air
Yeah.
Force, we had jet engines that you get with jet engine doesn't start. And there's things like there's an oil pressure switch that if you get to 15% RPM, you're winding the thing up to start it, and it's not even feeding the fuel in yet, and then it just goes back down, and stops. Well, there's that switch. Well, it depends which engine it is. Some of them are higher percentage RPM, some are lower percentage. But if there's no oil pressure, it just won't let it go anymore. Dr. Go heading out. Not all.
Thanks for being here. Good night to Dr. Go and the missus.
Yeah, take care.
We appreciate
Thanks
you hanging
for
out.
hanging out.
Hope to see you again
So
soon.
let's see here. Pocket platform continue here with the obvious upgrades until 98. So it was still the same thing underneath, with the springs up on top and just like a 65 Mustang kind of thing. Ford Australia's reheated Grandpa's axe. Not sure what that's all about. Okay, let's see here. Kill switch. So my 72 CD750 kill switch is finicky. If it isn't perfectly in center run position, it won't start. Bump it slightly and the bike will shut off too. Oh, that's not good. Bump, slow down, coast to a stop. Dean Ferd guy with Australian Valiant load. Doctor, don't go. Doctor, go. Then Doctor.
Tavo says he's going to keep an eye out for a pair of roof pillars with Wayfair emblems for you. Would make the job easier. Yeah, but we're pretty good fabricators.
Yeah, we're good fabricators. And you told me those are worth a lot of money, and then you got to ship them up here and everything. I don't know. I think I'll just deal with it somehow. Might I don't know, but thanks.
You never know. You might see a wrecked car in a yard somewhere, rusted out one. I don't know if they rust down there.
Sure. Worst bike I ever
owned. Do you have rust on the other side of the planet?
Yeah, what's a rust situation where you live? I've seen rusty stuff like videos in Australia, but I don't know where they were. I don't know if they were up along the north coast or if they were, I don't know where they were. But what's it like where you are, Tavo? Is it pretty clean cars? I mean, I've seen his cars. They look clean to me.
Worst bike I ever owned.
What's that?
Sayre Canadian Diesel is working now. It's the last comment.
Okay, let's see what works on.
Somebody time him out.
So he's back.
Yeah.
We haven't done anything.
We didn't.
It just started working. You know, before the live stream, I took my little these little terabyte hard drives, external hard drives, and I have this folder that's got all my pictures of cars in it, but I add cars to it all the time. So I want to get the current folder out here in the studio for the live so I can refer to it. So I went in there and I dumped the whole folder into this hard drive. I looked at it. Yep, it's there. Brought it in here, plugged it in. That folder was gone. I don't know what happened. Went in there, loaded again, and it took it again, which means it would have seen it and not put it in a second time, or it would have wanted me to rename it or something, but it put it in a second time. I brought it here, it was here. It's like, what happened to it? It just vanished.
Dougster Wolverine
Goofy computer stuff.
Says he has a 97 Valkyrie with 44K on it and never once touched the carbs. And I think that's in regard to Sayre's comment about Honda Goldwing that is nuts with carb tuning and timing. So I guess the Valkyries are better carb situation. And Tavo says, yeah, rust is the biggest killer of old cars down here unless they've been inland all their lives.
Well, you're inland quite a bit, aren't you? I don't know. I know you're in South Australia, but when I looked at the map, when you kind of showed me where you were, it looked like you were inland quite a ways. And I thought it looked kind of desertish there, but you say it's not desert. So I don't know how moist the air is and salt air and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, moist. You know, cars get moist and they rust. I'm sorry. Moisture. Moisture along the coast. Man, does that mess cars up. Carburetor, French, Canadian, or don't funk with these. Sarah says, don't ever
touch
it's touch them carbs.
Carburetors are.
What'd you get, Kim?
Pickled. More coffee.
Very white looking.
Yeah, you know what? It's
Over
very
over milked it.
no.
You wanted it like that.
Yeah, it's weak. It's a weak coffee. That's why it's so. I put the milk in it. It turned just light. That's okay. I don't need too much caffeine.
I put 200 milligram caffeine pill in there, stir it up.
I was out there today doing stuff. I ran my skid loader, and I there was a motor from a Subaru, an extra Subaru motor in the garage, and we were tripping over it. And I didn't want to put it outside because I don't really want it to get ruined. It's a good core. So it's in the trunk of the Subaru now. There's two motors in the trunk of the Subaru right now. And so I got that. And oh, it was finicky getting the skid loader running because it's been sitting for probably 2 or maybe 3 months since it's been run. And then since I had it running, I drove it over into the swimming pool and I scooped around. I got some of the firewood out of the swimming pool. And well, and then I worked on car stuff for a while. Um, the exhaust manifold log for the Slant Six, and I did some painting on parts for the Slant Six. What else did I say I did
That
today?
slant six is going to go together real soon. It's going to get dropped into the.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you got the crank and the what do you call it? The vibration dampener on it.
Oh yeah, I did a short about installing. Did anybody see the short? Did
Oh,
it
you
get
put it up.
suggested to you?
You put it up. I didn't
Yeah.
see it. I didn't see you short.
Did anybody get the short suggested that I put up earlier on Kim Fixes Things?
Tyler says, "Good farmland out here. My cars all came from the coastal cities, so plenty of rust to deal with." Yeah, this car that I got is near Dallas area, Dallas, Texas, so it's way inland from the Gulf Coast, a couple hundred miles at least, and it's far enough south where they probably don't get a lot of snow, if any. I don't know what Dallas gets for. I've been through Dallas many, many times in the wintertime and not seen any snow. You get out West Texas, higher elevation, man, you do get some snow out there. Oh, Lester LeSabre watched it.
Aha, Lester LeSabre watched.
Well,
I had them shims, and I was like, the threads in that crankshaft were really like rusty. You know, it's not like I have a tap for a 7/8 bolt, and there's a bolt in the engine in his yellow car, but I didn't want to go over there and pull the bolt out. And I know I can just smack that on with a hammer. I didn't want to beat on it. And somebody made a really rude comment like that I'm some kind of hack or whatever like that. It's like, hey, it's done, and I didn't hurt nothing. I'm sure I didn't hurt nothing.
Somebody made a comment that you're hackery or something.
Hacked for doing that, but I already had the engine. Like most, I don't know. It's a very niche situation where it would where you would have the pan off so you could stick shims in it.
Duckster
So
says,
they
I've
did.
seen a map overlay of US and Australia. I never realized how big down under really is. It's a continent. It's a continent. All the whole country is
Go
a
figure.
continent. Pretty cool.
I want to see that.
You want to see that overlay? Yeah, look. Uh, I'm, I'm about 100 miles north of our main coastline, about 40 miles from the Gulf to the west. Sarah says, "LOL, Doug. Just wait till you find out how small Greenland is. Yet it looks massive on the maps." Oh, yeah, Greenland. You have to look at it on a globe, not on a. Yeah, look up. You got a phone. There you go. I was gonna say there's that one up there, right between you and me. Yeah, that one.
This one?
Yeah, I mean it shows too.
Oh,
Both
I
of
gotta
them
go.
do. Both of them do. Yeah, look at that.
Wow. I didn't know it was that big.
Yeah,
I did not realize that it was that large. Coast to coast, that's like a 25-hour drive or something like that, coast to coast.
yeah.
30-hour drive.
Buddy says road salt eats car in Massachusetts. Yep. Man, anywhere up there.
Road salt literally creeps up at night and takes bites out of your car up in the northeast.
What I can't believe is after, and I didn't understand this till after I lived in Ohio for many years, is all that road salt's done and everything, the snow's gone, and the roads are still kind of white. And as you drive down the road, you see this white dust, and it all gets all up in the car again. That's salt. It's not doing any good. Yeah.
And even as the snow is melting, the water that's on the roads is very salty, and then once it gets up in the seams of your car, you get that wicking action where two pieces of metal, water, it actually grabs water and pulls it up, and so then as soon as the finish is compromised, any little crack or chip, man, it just gets in there and it eats. It eats. It is so hard to get rid of. And okay, here's a big. Did you know those big car washes with the pressurized wands and everything?
You mean the self, like
to,
a pressure
to
washer?
save water, they have tanks that collect the water and then they recycle it. So you're washing your car with the salt water.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
It's
terrible.
actually briny. It gets stronger because
So you go to the car wash. The story is you need to taste the water coming out of the sprayer. Oh man.
uninhabitable center. What is it? A real arid desert type?
What's the city out in the middle? Alice Springs. Is that Alice Springs? I always wanted to go there because I like desert. So I've been on Google looking around at the street views and everything. And I always thought somewhere out there. And I watched a video recently of a guy that went on one of the, what do they call the trucks there? The road trains or whatever, the big long trucks with multiple trailers behind them. And they went across the whole continent. And it's pretty interesting. And there's truck stops along the way. And it was interesting to see that in Australia.
Doug Sir Wolverine Garage says, if it works, is it really a bad idea? And if it works and it runs, it's not a hack, it's a confirmed fix, says Sarah Canadian Diesel. Now, I don't know that it's a great idea to be hammering on your main caps. But I was using a rubber mallet. It's not like I had to use a sledgehammer. It went on with a rubber mallet. So
And
I
you were
don't
bracing
feel like,
it with the wood.
right, and it was bracing it with wood. But what I'm saying is the amount of impact that was going on there was very manageable, and I was, instead of just putting it on the thrust bearing, which only one of the main bearings is a thrust bearing on a slant six, it was distributed across all the main caps by the shims. I think that was a really good. I think that worked. Anyways, don't pound your harmonic dampener on with a hammer. Is a good rule of thumb because you might not understand what I did. Not everybody's smart enough to see, to grasp.
38 Racing's here. Good evening.
Hey, 38 Racing.
And he says he ain't
How you doing
scared.
tonight?
Dougster, I ain't scared.
We're doing well. We have no idea what's happening with the election.
Yeah.
I don't know
Don't even bring
nothing
that
about
up. Don't even bring that
I
up.
have no idea. Don't talk about it. I'm just saying, like, we are completely cut off. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
for the people that weren't in here when we first started, we decided to have some controversy, and it was like people had two different opinions, and it was on whether ketchup should be on hot dogs or
Yeah.
not. And so there was some controversy going on with that, and that was a worthwhile discussion, I guess.
Yes. And the polls are closed here, and there's nothing to be done
Okay,
here in Tennessee but
nice,
enjoy cars and community.
nice little Datsun 1200 Ute just drove past me. Wow.
Oh, I'm gonna bring up a 1200 Datsun 1200U
Yeah, you're gonna have.
because I don't know what that looks like.
Neither do I.
No. Okay.
So we're gonna have to
See what
find
else
out.
is going on here.
Dougster, if you were to do one complete lap of the A1, how long do you think it would take, normal driving? I have a stuck main cap. I have no issue whacking it with a brass hammer. I have had main caps that needed the 20, 20 pounds finesse hammer. Let's see here, 38 Racing. Tomorrow the used car ads come back to the radio.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty much
I've been
it.
saying to Kim, I can't wait till they see all the suggested videos. It's like, man, when is this going to end? I can't wait. Get rid of all this political crap. I want my car videos back because I get a spattering of them here and there. Okay, look at this Ute. Man, is that cute? I had a Datsun 1200. It was that same body, but it was a little fastback hatchback thing. Oh, it wasn't a hatchback. It's just a little fastback thing. Oh, look at that. Same body up front, same fenders and everything. Grill was a little different. Oh, I like that. And my guess is that's got a little pushrod engine in it. 1200, I'm sure it's a little pushrod engine. See, I like that. Oh, see, that one has a twin turbo Viper V10 in it. That's probably not what we want.
No, I don't think that's a pushrod engine.
But originally they were
Yes.
little 1200. Yeah. Yeah, no more political ads. Those are average travelers do that in 3 to 4 weeks. I mean, that would be a heck of a trip if you had the time off to go do that. I've driven across the United States over and over. I lost count so many times, but I always got a destination and a time frame, and I can't stop and see stuff. Occasionally, I've stopped for just something for a few minutes, but like on I-80, which is kind of across the middle of the country, going across, I don't know, like Nebraska. You can imagine where Nebraska is, just shooting across there. There's things I want to stop and see, and it's always like there's a Pony Express station. I always see that exit. I got to keep moving because I got to be somewhere, And all those east-west interstates and some of the north-south ones going up through Virginia into like going up toward Washington, D.C. There's always stuff I want to see. I just go by them. So one of these days, we're going to stop and see some of this stuff, I hope.
KG Kylie, welcome to the stream. She says extended car warranty ads. Yes, they've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty, and you could not hear them over the political murmur. And now they'll be back at the forefront of your mind.
So during the last month, I signed off the title for my Mazda and sent it to this insurance company, and eventually they paid me. And then a week or so went by, and I got this emergency notice in the mail that I had to extend my warranty for my Mazda. Thanks, guys. I'm sure you want to have a warranty on this.
Just in time.
This thing. We just got some nice little cars down here. Originally the 12A pushrod engine, yeah. Originally the A. Okay. Yeah, see, I had one of those cars that was looked like a little fastback. Look up Datsun 512 or Datsun. That's wrong. Datsun 1200. US. Yeah, see that orange one right there? Right at the right. The orange one right there, Kim. That one. Mine was dark green, kind of like a British racing green, but that's exactly what it was. Mine was a 71, and it was a 1200. Didn't use a lot of gas, reliable as it gets, little tiny pushrod, super reliable engine. Open the hood and you can see the ground. You can see dirt and this little engine in there. Sayer says Ute is supposed to be utility, but it really stands for unstoppable terrain eliminator. I guess. I guess like the El Caminos and Rancheros I had, they were always a little bit light in the back, but they were okay. Man, I had a 72 El Camino. That's one of those cars I think about. Like, why did I ever sell that? The bucket list thing for me is I want to do a lap of Australia and I want to ship a bike to the Isle of Wight for the TT races as a spectator, not a racer. Where's the Isle of Wight? Look up Isle of Wight. I know maps well, and I don't know that. Ooh, I should know that. Okay, I was looking for a map, not a picture of motorcycles, but okay.
We'll get there. He
Okay.
was talking about the TT races, so I thought I'd bring those up, but
You have
I'll
to
see if I
get the
can
west
go.
part of Nebraska to find
Maps.
much of a hill. Maybe that's why I'm not comfortable in the Ozarks. You know, Nebraska, I didn't know till I had a GPS that it's a slow uphill crawl all the way to almost to Wyoming, and then it gets steeper. But yeah, when I get to when I'm coming back from out west, I get into the western part of Wyoming, and the altitude starts dropping, the field elevation, whatever you call it, elevation starts getting lower. See, I'm a pilot, so I call it field elevation. The elevation starts getting lower, and that's when I feel like I'm getting somewhere because I know I'm about ready to hit Nebraska. Once I'm in Nebraska, man, I'm in the Midwest, and I'm flying. I'm going, you know. And I'm getting you so many times in the winter. Nebraska's cold, but Wyoming's miserable. So lower, lower, lower. You don't get it in Nebraska. It's even cold sometimes. It's in Ireland. Okay. Oh, we don't have Ireland people here tonight. It's in Ireland. Um,
Buddy Carfano thinks it looked like a Ford Courier truck. Do you
yeah,
think that?
yeah. Ford Courier's a Mazda. Yeah, you can look up Ford Courier truck. Oh, that's pretty good. Now that we know where that is, sure. Good job. Oh, it's on the Isle of Man.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Yeah, I know where Isle of Man is.
Do you think it looks like a Ford Courier?
Oh, I don't know. I think it's small. I know the car, so I know. I think it's much smaller than a Courier, but yeah, it has that same kind of look.
Little
Um,
trucks.
little truck.
Mini trucks. Does anybody
Oh,
watch
my bad.
Puddin's
A12,
Fab
not 12
Shop
A.
working on mini trucks? He's the Datsun King. He's the mini truck king.
Who's that?
Puddin's Fab Shop.
Oh,
Do you ever watch Puddin Fab
I
Shop?
have watched him some, not a lot.
He's working on he's a body swap. He's body swapping a kind of a rare little truck. Controversial the way he's doing the body swap. I don't know if I would do it that way, but he's doing it. Interesting stuff. I like watching Puddin. He does a lot of fabrication work, and I like it. I'm back at work. Boss is watching me. Uh-oh, Tavo's got to go back to work.
okay, Tavo. Thanks for stopping by and have fun at work. Um, 38 Racing says 72, the last of the really good looking El Caminos. Yeah, I agree. I really like the 72 that I had, but my favorite one all time was the 68. And it was a 1 year dashboard that had the square instruments instead of the round ones or the long skinny ones. And I just I had a 68 that I was trying to sell for somebody. Man, was that I just that was that was the one I really liked. Of course, I don't know. I like the 64s too, the original ones. Um, and Talos says my bad, A12 engine, not 12A. Yeah, okay. 12A was a Mazda. I'm only 38 says I'm only 30 minutes from I-80.
Did you say the
Oh, oops,
68
Isle of
was?
Man. Oh, he says Isle of Man.
Yeah,
Okay.
he didn't know. He was like, oh yeah, you're right, because we were all over. What year dash did you say it was? It was the 1 year
68.
dash.
There's a 68. See the square instruments?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. The 67 was different, although 66 and 67s had a pretty cool dash. I like this. I like those because all the knobs are up at the top instead of down below the instruments. But the yeah, see the one with the black steering wheel there, the
Yeah.
67. See all the knobs and the key and all that stuff is up at the top, which I kind of
Mm.
like that. But the 68 was my favorite one. And then 69, they went from the square instruments to the round instruments. I thought, why did they do that? That it looks, yeah, that's like the 69. It's like, why did they do that? Why did they do that? I don't know. They did it. I just think this
They wanted to be fancy. Boy, changing it every year has got to be expensive.
got to be expensive.
You know what though? The thing about that, right, is it
See that one right there? Yeah, the square ones. I don't know why I liked it. I just did.
when they change that stuff every year, it makes it more valuable and less valuable at the same time.
38 says 64 isn't the original El Camino. It's the original Chevelle El Camino. Yeah, they had. What's really weird is GM had 59 and 60 El Caminos, both of which I like a lot. And then they were supposed to use. I have pictures of the thing that they were going to use, which was the Chevy 2 that came out in '62, that had the an El Camino version of it. They never did it, and they waited till '64 and did the Chevelle. So there's a gap in there with no El Caminos. And Ford went rolling right on. They had 57. Well, down under they had them long before that, but 57, 8, 9, and then in '60 they went to the Falcon for the Ranchero, which I guess was a good move for them, although it wasn't a very heavy duty truck. It was a nice little pickup though, the Falcons, and eventually they, like everything, got bigger and bigger and bigger.
Mama M3 says my 88 Ram 50 is a mini truck. That's right, it is. My Dakota.
That's a mid-size truck.
No, well, not that version.
Yours is.
No, mine's an early Dakota, and it has the four-cylinder engine. That's a mini truck. It's not mid-size truck. Have you sat in it? It's little. It's it's not a Kai truck or anything like that, but it's a mini truck.
Well, the 50s were actually is a 88 Ram 50. Is that the one that's actually a Mitsubishi?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a mini truck.
All the 50s are
I had a friend that had one of those, and his father had it before him, and he put I don't know, a bigger Toyota engine in it. So he ran around with that Toyota powered.
Maybe
Ram
Chevy
50.
was waiting for another full frame car to build the L on.
Could have been. I just imagine this: what the '61 Chevy would have looked like, full size Chevrolet El Camino, or '62. Those would have been great looking cars. They just stopped. I don't know. They had their reasons. Obviously, they're business decisions. Yeah, imagine that as an El Camino. Look at that bubble top 61. That was a nice looking car, but they just never did the El Camino on it. It's too bad. Well, somewhere in here, the Mighty Max is the sister.
Tim says you would see a lot of deer near the edges of the roads because they lick the salt. Yeah, I believe that because the spray gets really.
I never thought of that.
Yeah, they probably lick the guardrails and eat the snow. Ooh.
I'm looking for something here. Oh, I got a lot of pictures here. Ooh, I don't know if I can find it quickly.
Dougster, you didn't really miss that Isle of Wight by a lot. That's right there.
Well, as soon as he said Isle of Man, I knew what he was talking about.
Oh, Isle of Man. Oh, what?
As soon as I said.
We sit here and stumble on words all the time.
How many have you seen this car
You knew
before?
what you meant.
How many have you seen this car before?
This I gotta bring up the right screen. They can't
This
see
is a GM thing they did. Oops, you got to make us small. And I got to raise it up. And they used the old, what they called the sedanette, which most people call a fastback. And that was something they did on the 57 Chevy as what do they call it? Like a show car. But they never did anything with it. But I was looking for something else when I found that. Somewhere in my... Oh, I'm going to have a hard time finding this. I got so many Chevrolets.
The Mighty Max is the sister. What's the Mighty Max?
Not sure. I think I know a lot about cars until I get in this group, and then there's people that know more than me, and it's like, oh, I learned something. Oh, here's another one, another picture of that thing. The Fleet line. Man, is that I'm not sure that would have done real well.
38 says there's been some built 61 and up full size El Caminos, and Google might bring some up. I guess that's my cue to get on the ball here. Let's see what I can find.
Oh, okay. Can I search this? Search. Yes, I can. Nope.
And it does. 38 was right. Brings them up. Is that there's one there? Well, I don't know what they use for the back window there.
What are you looking at there? Oh, look at that. Somebody did it. Yeah, they used the back window like a four-door wraparound window, and they put it up there. Well, that's pretty interesting. Yeah, and see, there's another 61 over here, the red one, that has a different back window on it. Nope, down below that. Oh, maybe that is the one. Right above your head. Yeah, that one. Yeah, it's got the Impala taillights on it.
Yeah, well, that's a station wagon. That's crazy.
But they took the
Oh, they
the
put
the wagons never had the three taillights on each side. And you could always tell the Impalas because they had three.
They added a light.
I knew a lot of people had Corvettes back then that would add a third light on each side.
Oh, Daryl B says the Mitsubishi version was called a Mighty Max. It's the same as the Ram 50.
I didn't know that. Maybe, yeah.
Mitsubishi made some good vehicles, honestly.
They made of all the Japanese manufacturers. I think they were
Japanese.
I think Mitsubishi had the best looking cars.
The Japanese cars were came through pretty decent. The steel was not up to the task of fighting rust like what we had in the Northeast, but nothing was. They salted so aggressively. It was insane.
What were the worst car? I bet those Fairmonts, like that one I just got, I bet those things just turned to.
Oh yeah,
they just crumbled.
There was nothing that survived that salt. They salted heavily. It was just so corrosive because if they didn't stay after it, it would just be the roads would become impassable. So they had to get it off the roads right away. And there was a big industry of this, the salt mines under Lake Erie. That was just big business, selling salt to the road crews and running all those big heavy trucks.
Did you say salt mines under Lake Erie?
I think.
Yeah, I knew a guy that worked in one of those salt mines under the lake. I thought he was nuts going under there. Like, what if somebody pokes a hole in the bottom of the lake and fills up your mine down there? I don't know. It's just scary looking to me. Oh, here we go. This, okay, you're going to have to bring my picture back up, though.
Oh, yeah. It's you again.
It's me again.
There we go.
That is the El Camino. See, that's a GM. Somehow we're not scooted up here enough to see the whole thing. See, it's got the license plate on it that GM uses for their
prototype cars or something?
Yeah, whatever you call those cars. So that's, I don't know. I think that was what was supposed to be, and then just didn't turn out. That would have been a nice vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that car I got, that'll never be in the salt. I'll never take that thing in salt roads.
Do they even have salt here?
Yes, I have seen them salt the roads out here, but you can bet if the roads are salted, that car of mine's gonna
not go anywhere.
Not be out on the road.
Well, we're lucky we don't have to. We get the option not to.
No,
when you're working, man.
Okay, and that
you
Jeep.
Have to go.
That Jeep.
Yeah.
I bought that to go in the salt. And it grew up in Maryland, and it's got a couple of little spots, but it's not bad. So I think if we had to go somewhere in the salt, we'll just drive that thing.
But you know what? The
concept car, that's what I was trying to think of.
Yes.
Why couldn't I pull that out of my dead brain? Yeah, concept car. Yeah, when I saw that, I had to snag a picture of it because, man, why didn't they do that? That would have been 62. the first year for the Chevy 2.
That has
So
the
they would have
late 50s lines
they
to
would
it.
have missed 1 year. But yeah, but the Chevy 2 was that body style Chevy 2 was 61, 2, and 3
Yeah.
and 4.
Well, that would
No,
have
I'm sorry, 62, 3, and 4. And 65 and 6
early
they changed it a
60s.
little. But
And there's a
yeah,
Corvair
Corvair
van
van in the
in the
background.
background.
Yeah, this is GM wherever they have their concept cars to take pictures
Yeah.
of
I
them.
have one, Dougster. It's too far gone.
What's that? What's that?
59 El Camino.
Oh, 59 El Camino. Bring that up. 59 El Camino. 59 was the first year for the El Camino.
He says it's too far gone.
Oh, everything from Michigan and Ohio and Wisconsin. I remember that stuff was just gone. Yeah, see if you can get a back end picture. Oh, that one right above your head, the red one.
This one?
Yeah. Oh, that one's got a big old tonneau cover on it. But uh, I like
Oh,
that.
they made El Caminos out of the car. It doesn't have a tailgate, does it?
Yeah, it does. If you
It
look
does.
at
Can't see
find
it right
another
now.
one that find a back end that doesn't have a tonneau cover on it. Um, or just add to your search tailgate.
Oh, I see it. I see it now.
See one?
You
Yeah,
can
there
see
you
the
go.
hinges.
Yeah, that's 59 Chevy El Camino. Yeah, I like those a lot.
Mission gets the ultimate body rust cocktail: salt and chloride. Yeah, I mean they're aggressive with with the salting. I don't know if it's. I don't know if you got to get out there because you got to go to work every day. You know they got to keep the economy running,
Hey, see that thing
keep
that
the
says
lights on.
59 El Camino AMT model, 125th scale? Click on that. See what that's all about. $31.17 for that model, and they have them at Amazon. Ooh, I might start
Amazon?
building models again.
Oh,
Just what I need. Spend 31 of my dollars on a model of an El Camino. I had so many AMT kits. They they were addictive. I'll tell you another, a 60 Chevy right after the 59. Instead of the fins being smooth out like this, they went like on a. And here's a 60 Chevy that somebody customized it. Instead of having the three taillights on each side, they did that, which I thought looked pretty good. But
retrofuturism.
that's yeah, I don't know where that license plate's from. That's not US. I don't know where that's from. Might be down under. I don't like the top at all with that little window, but the tail light, I really like that. You know, imagine that full of LEDs. Whoa. Like a turn signal, like half of it would blink. That would be pretty nice. Or to go across like that. Oh, 38 Racing. I have one or two of those models on the shelf, saving them for when I can't get out. You know, I've got some models I've saved. I got a couple of Corvettes, C4 Corvettes, and a Dodge Charger. They're up in the shop. You know where they are. I think they might be in that white cabinet of Mopar Surprises or whatever you call it.
Yeah, I think that. hmm, I'm not sure where they got stuffed. Someplace safe. And nothing can
Wow.
ever happen to them.
Dunkster says the northern lower peninsula. The northern lower peninsula. That's the one it's the little one off to the right above Detroit. That one uses beet juice instead of salt and chloride. It works better and doesn't rot your ride.
They
Do you,
have
do you,
sprayers.
do you have, do the cars turn red or purple?
I don't think.
Yeah.
No.
38 Racing says, yuck, in my opinion. Yeah, because he
Mm,
has 59, so the 59s look right to him. It's just what I don't like a lot about the 60 is all the little taillights. I think this looks pretty good, but I guess I can take that away because
it looked like something out of a sci-fi movie.
uh, Lester Saber Patriots and 2 subframe suppliers.
You have to speak out loud.
I'm trying to read this. You talk better than I
Lester
do.
LeSabre said Patriots had 2 subframe suppliers, one good, and one supplied ones that rusted badly. Oh, I see. My 2011 Patriot got a recall for inspection. Fortunately, I got a good one. My stepmom's rusted out badly. I see. There were different metallurgy or maybe different finish, maybe the paint work. Because really, a lot of it's in the paint. If the paint is done well, it won't rust for a long time. But
Oh, he says the northern lower, but so that's the UP. I don't know. I'm mixed up. And then he says the mitten is the lower one. Okay, well it's not. I don't know. Yes, a little red on the cars. Great grip on the highway. Well, I mean they should do that.
it's more expensive, I think. The beet juice stuff, like in experiments, it works fine.
Yeah, you can see him out there with cans of beets pouring.
Yeah, can you imagine squeezing all those beets? Yeah, but no, um, but salt is just so cheap. Beet juice is like more work. They have to spray it.
Might have looked better with 67 Cougar taillights. You know, if you took 67 Cougar taillights and then took another section of it and put it in the middle so it looked like one big long taillight. I saw something like that. I don't remember what car it was, but they used 67 Cougar taillights all the way across. Looked pretty cool. So what do you think of that one, 38? He's probably got pictures of that. Oh, the painted bumpers look good too. I mean, to me, that car looks good. The stance is right. Wheels look good, although they probably rub on the front.
Do you want to talk about that thing that we talked about earlier this morning at the table about a theme?
We're at 8:51, so we're 2 hours into it almost. Not the thumb. Oh, you ever been around somebody from Michigan? They go, "Where do you live in Michigan?" They hold up their hand because this is Michigan, and they point to where it is. Please explain where all this is on the hand. I'm still mixed up. I need to go over to my printer and get a Michigan map and just have it printed on my hand. So when somebody does that, I go, "Here, point to it." Not the thumb. Fingers of the mitten would be the northern lower peninsula. Oh, that you mean the whole part of Michigan? The whole thing is a peninsula. Okay, I thought you meant the little part. I feel like, what is it, little piggies or something? The lower part of Michigan, there's the lower peninsula, the upper peninsula, it's up here, and then there's the big peninsula, which you're calling the lower peninsula. Okay, they're all peninsulas.
38 Racing, Ray says this, he doesn't think this looks that bad. I think it looks nice. I think it's done well.
You know what's really cool about this one?
That bumper looks high. What's it got what's that?
I'm not sure. Exhaust? I don't know. I don't know what that is. Yeah, there's a spot back there. But the license plate, 1956 base plate in California. I remember when we got those. My dad bought a 56 Ford brand new and it had one of those on it. And that was through 62. That one has a 59 sticker on it. Look at this. They put LEDs in it. That's the one thing about those big 59 Chevy taillights. They get dim if you don't keep them up and keep them, I'd paint the reflectors in there white and put new bulbs in and everything because white reflects so much better than the silver. But I mean, that looks really good with the bright taillights. But I like the 62, the 56 base California plate. And it's kind of cool. They put the 59.
What does Lester LeSabre mean for air diffuser for downforce?
Oh, that's somehow so air flows through there. Yeah, I don't think I have a picture of that thing from the front.
Oh, in the back.
I do not have a picture.
Air diffuser.
Oh, maybe I do have a picture of that from the front.
I see what he's saying. It's like an air dam.
Oh, he has an air dam up front too. So yeah, this guy's thinking about aerodynamics, I guess.
And Dougster says he's at TDC right now. What does that mean?
Top dead center.
right now. I'm confused. Shoot. So we were
We were talking.
talking about so as to keep things because we didn't even give out the email address all night tonight.
Oh yeah, I know. I forgot.
You know what? I think most people kind of know,
Yeah,
and
they've been
that's
sending
I
us
forget. There
pictures.
might be people watching though who are newer to the stream and not commenting, so we should still give it out
I'm
sometimes.
gonna put it right, or unless you can.
But
I'm moving my cursor around. I can't find the
if
hole to
anyone is
put it
watching
in.
and they want to send pictures for us to look at or talk about, they can send them to buffdelcampo@gmail.com and let us know and tell us who you are in the email because your email is probably not the same as your screen name. But
Just a second.
go ahead.
38 Racing says Mexican chrome paint inside the housing helps. That and brighter bulbs. You know what I found? I've done a lot with this kind of stuff, and I used to use silver, but I don't do it anymore. I use white. You find the brightest white, gloss white paint I can, and man, does that reflect light well. And I found inside taillight lenses or inside taillights to paint the reflector gloss white. Let it dry good so you don't have fingerprints in it. Put the new bulbs in there, and man, does that wake up the back of the car. And I've done it a lot, and I bought trailers that had black plastic inside the taillights.
Ooh,
Done the same thing, shot it all white in there.
that would make
And man,
nice.
all of a sudden the trailer, you can see the trailer, you know. And I don't know why I did that once. I just tried it, and man, did that work. Okay.
Dexter says that the license plate begins with TDC. I understand.
Oh,
Now.
okay.
I just
TDC. Oh, that's pretty cool.
I'm just like
I completely missed that.
dense as a stone
Well,
tonight.
my father's plate on his 56 Ford was JLU 496. I just remember that, you know, because I was a little kid, and to a 2-year-old kid, that's really important what the license plate number is. Don't ask me why, but for a 2-year-old, that's important. So many, many, many years later, like 40, 50 years later, I'm traveling a lot and going into hotels, and they always want to know my license number. It's like, oh God, I got to go out and look at the car, come back in and finish filling out the form. And I got really tired of that. So my Corvette, I was out in Arizona. I got a personalized plate. JLU 496 was available. So I got my dad's old license plate number from his 56 Ford on my Corvette. And I ran around with that for a long time. And I still have that plate here, but it's pretty funny. His plate number was available.
So
that's all I could remember. Okay.
So we were talking about a segment of the show on Tuesday nights that we'd like to, because after a while we've seen everybody's pictures, and not everybody can send new pictures over and over again, but we thought that it might be fun to pick a year and then do a segment on that specific year. And what was your favorite car from that year? If you could go back and buy a brand new car in that year, what car would you buy? And maybe get some advertising information or current events from that year, or focus on a specific year on
what you liked from that year,
automotive wise, or like something in racing or NASCAR or anything, imagery from a specific year. And then that would give everyone an opportunity to participate if they wanted to do that. So anybody in chat could send, hey, I liked this from that year, and I remember this from that year, and then we could all talk about it for maybe a half an hour or something like that, or longer if we're having a good time with it. We thought that would be a good segment for the show on Tuesday nights, and it would give us like everybody an opportunity to participate and prepare ahead of time. And it could really like move the conversation along for a segment, and then we could go back to the regular. So right now we're kind of freestyle. We just bounce whatever we want to talk about, but we thought a year. And I was thinking that if we went like 40 years ago, it would be 1984. Do you think that would be an okay first year to do? You want to go older?
I think yeah, because I think everybody in here. I don't know about everybody. A lot of people in here are in late 50s through the 60s into 70s, maybe 1980 cars. And I mean, look at the that range
So
of
what year?
cars.
What year do you think would be good? Does anybody have a particular year
Yeah,
that
somebody
they
pick
would
a
like
year, and
to?
whoever puts a year here, that's what we'll do next week. We'll have a segment when we bring up cars from that year.
We talk about
What I
your
remember,
favorite thing
what I
or a
remember,
memorable thing.
what I remember, what she remembers, what you remember, and it'll be just kind of a fun thing to do, I think. Unless you say don't do it, then we won't do it.
No, we're gonna try it. We're gonna try it. And then we want to make it, if it works out, we'll make it a regular thing. Is every week we'll have it, and then we'll have a certain amount of time that we dedicate in the stream for it. And I think that it could be a lot of fun, and it drives sort of, it lets you uh, do some advanced planning. If you'll send us the stuff to his email ahead of time, then we'll have it all downloaded. We can kind of organize it, and we'll know what there is to talk about, and you can be here for that. I'll try that. 38 says I'll try that white paint trick. It does. It works really good. White reflects, actually, it seems like better than silver. And you would think that silver, well, that's shiny, but white is very reflective. Buddy
I'm down.
Carfano says 1970.
Okay,
He was
it's
the
1970.
first. So, what we're going to do is we're going to spend the whole week in our spare time poking around at the automotive world in 1970.
Oh man, I've already got it. I know what my favorite cars are.
He knows what his favorite
It's
car is.
and
And
so we can prepare. 1970, and 1970 is that's right in the middle
That's
of
a good year.
everything we all like. Okay, so here we go. Pictures from, while we're talking about that, we're going to show pictures from 38 Racing. Oh, that's a 60. That's a piece of a 60 Chevy.
And it's welded onto a frame, probably so it's easier to keep from breaking, huh? So and we'll have to figure out a way that we can like announce ahead. So if you weren't here for the stream last week, you'll know what we're going to do this week. 38 Racing likes the AMX, I think. Don't give it away yet.
Yeah.
Don't give it away.
Look at that. Okay, now there it is. There it is. Rolled over
it's
this
a
way.
bench.
It's a bench. See, I like that. Except it's got a Biscayne on the right side and a Bel Air on the left side. See, the Bel Air had a backup light and the Biscayne did not. I think that's the way it went. And then the Impala had 3 lights across on each side. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And look at the bumper. People used to make bumpers like that. I don't remember what they called them, but I remember custom cars back in the 60s had, a loop like that, and it looked pretty cool.
So
yeah, there it is. Okay, how can I don't know how I can turn it.
There's not a ton of people in the chat right now, but you guys have the advance notice that we're going to talk about 1970 and cars and automotive stuff related to 1970. It could be racing stuff. It could be events that happened. It could be interesting historical stuff for manufacturers. So, hey,
I want something like this. Doesn't have to be a 60 Chevy, but I want something like this to take to like No Name Nationals. We sit there on it. That'd be cool.
Nerf bars?
Yeah, Nerf bars. That's what they were called. You got it. Nerf bars. Yeah, Nerf bars. Is there a K in that word? There could be. And solar lights too. Oh yeah, I see the lights down there. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Can you bring the mic back up again? Something happened to it.
No.
It drifted away again.
And
I look down there. Okay, there. Well, I look down and it's like we're not talking. It's like, or a sound going out.
Yeah. See, sometimes I mess things up because the cursor, when I put it over here, I can see I can see it on the screen, or sometimes I can see your cursor and I get confused, and then I scroll the microphone away.
I like that thing.
1970. How will we announce that we're going to talk about 1970?
I'll put it in the
whole week ahead.
And I'll find a 1970 car to put on the thumbnail. I mean, there's so many good cars in 1970. I'll put up like something I like, and then
Maybe we'll put the date in the
You know how
corner.
they made those type of taillights? Where do they get that red lens? Oh, on this thing? That was 1960 Chevy lenses. Bring up 1960 Chevrolet taillight lens, and see. I bet there's a place where you can buy 1,000 of them. Well, those are all wrong. Scroll down. Those are all wrong.
Oh, you know why? Because I typed in the wrong
You typed something
number.
wrong? Yeah.
50? 60.
1960.
Oh, that's why. I was a row off on my typey.
There you go. The one's right above Kim's
$12.
head. Right above Kim's
Oh,
head.
Classic Industries has them for $9. You probably have to buy 50 of them to get them.
Yeah, $8.99. There you go. That's where you get those lenses.
Those are cheap.
Classic Industry. Yeah, they're. I knew those would be around. And then you know what guys used to do back then? They had those cars. Do you want a motorized two buff? Something to cruise around, drive around in that couch? Kind of tip back and forth like this as you're driving around.
Just put one of those little Predator motors in there.
If that thing drives around,
make it a 3-wheeler.
Then we're gonna have to take it down the drag strip with 2 people on it. Oh, it might not pass inspection. Okay. Mexican Spec is back.
Mexican Spec's back. Is the election is over?
We're not talking about that.
Yeah, don't tell us what happened.
Don't tell us anything. Just keep it to yourself. But Mexican Spec, I don't know if you've been listening, but
Welcome back.
We have decided to change something in our format a little bit here.
We're gonna add something.
Next week on the Tuesday Night Live. We're going to. Oh yeah, Mexican Spec sells these lenses too. I mean, that's where you go there first. Starting in next week, we're going to choose a year, and we're going to have some pictures and some talk and something for like a segment during the live.
Well, we want it to be very interactive. And we want to talk about what you liked best about that year.
I asked somebody to bring up a year. Buddy Carafano come up with 1970. So I said, okay, next week I'm going to put up a thumbnail with some 1970 car, and then you can send in pictures of 1970 cars or stuff that you like about 1970 cars or whatever. And,
or something really unique about that year, or something you remember from that year, or some advertising paraphernalia.
He says that thing could only be on the track. You got to put it back up so Max expect to see it. That thing could only be on the track for the picture. Well, it wouldn't leak any oil.
That's right. Maybe.
It wouldn't leak any oil.
Probably not. Are you saying my car leaked too much oil to be on the track this year? Should have taken the
Did I say that?
Should have taken the Valiant. We already knew that didn't leak oil.
But what did I suggest before we went? Let's swap engines real quick. But that would have.
I was like, no, let's not.
You would have raced it with my engine in it. Okay, so Mexican Spec says, I missed the discussion on your new car. When you go get it? As soon as we have a weather window. That car has no wipers on it, no wiper motor, and there's some other things missing.
I mean, there was tornadoes and stuff in the alley that we're going to be driving through, so we decided to just, wait.
He does not have those lights. So
there's no market. They're cheap through Classic Industries.
So where's that? Oh, we're waiting for a weather window because of that. All the pieces and parts for the wiper things are all in the trunk. They come with the car.
Yeah, but they came out for a reason. They're probably something damaged.
Something happened. I don't care.
The trunk lid was tough to bend. Huh. Yeah, I'll bet it was.
Yeah, unless it was a real trunk lid. Stamping from General Motors, but maybe not.
No, it is. See the chrome strips on the top of it?
Oh, I see. They bent it. Oh, I thought it was 2 pieces of aluminum or 2 pieces of metal. Oh, they bent it. Oh, yeah, that is a trunk lid. That's got the curve. That's why the front of it's curved. Ooh. Oh, yeah, that'd be a little rough on the back of the knees. Yeah, I think I would have trimmed that off. I made it out of 2 pieces. Curved it a little so it kind of fits your bottom end.
I mean, it's meant not to bend like that. So, yeah, I'm sure it was not easy. What'd you do? Okay, you got to tell us the story. How did you bend that?
Did you make that?
I think you did.
You made that.
How would you bend that? What would you do? How would
How
you
would I
bend
do
it?
it? How
Yeah.
wide is it? Well, there's a backing to that thing, so
Yeah, you'd have to cut it.
you'd have to cut that, or you'd have to. Well, I'm trying to get a straight bend. I'd want to take that thing off the back and put it in my brake and then cut and fit the strengthening thing back on it. I don't know. It'd be fun, whatever it is. It wasn't a bad sit in. Yeah, you see where those two little nubs are sticking out. Yeah, your back of your knees would be there, but maybe your legs would hang off far enough so that wouldn't be
It
there.
doesn't
But
look
I
bad.
think it's great, man. Oh, wow.
Mexican Spec has suggestions. Okay, Mexican Spec,
What's that?
yes.
Okay, I have a few
I think he's
suggestions.
referring to for the 1970.
Okay, so next
And we're going
week,
to work on it. We're
what
going
you
to
do
develop it.
is
Develop the bit.
everybody has a week to just kind of think about this, and next week share your thoughts about 1970 cars. Send pictures, send your thoughts, whatever.
Yeah.
I think it'll be fun.
I'd like to see some advertising like pamphlets, brochures.
Oh, Colleen just sent something that I missed. Let's see what this is. 1970 was a 1 year only for a few different brands. I love my 71 Charger. Okay, well, next week we'll suggest that maybe. Maybe we'll move up 1 year at a time. I don't know. But 1970 is next year or next year. No, man, would that be fun? 1970 all over. 1970 is next week. Um, which brings up something else. What time is it? He's not here. I was hoping he'd be here, but he had a premiere right when we started our lives. That kind of sucks.
Oh, another YouTuber that you enjoy watching.
There's a YouTuber out there that has a channel called What It's Like, and he goes over cars, their design, and he goes over minute details that most people don't notice. I don't notice them, and he really hits the details, and he talks about one car each video, and his videos are, I don't know, 15-20 minutes long. And so What It's Like, I told him I'd give him a shout out. I also asked him if I could use some of the pictures he has, but it was getting really close to our time to come on, and he had a premiere at the same time. So he did some stuff on. Trying to think of what he was doing tonight. Was a Packard. It's either a Studebaker or a Packard. I don't remember that era, late 50s. So anyway, What It's Like is it's a channel I kind of like, and I'm hoping to get him in here sometime because he's pretty knowledgeable on the old cars. Oh, you're gonna no, that's I tried that. That's all wrong. It's just that's all wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, it brings up all wrong stuff. It's just I've said enough on it. So maybe he'll come in here sometime. I don't want to play his videos on here. Yeah, that's it. But I don't really want to.
You were plugging
Okay,
his
okay,
thing.
okay. Put that up. That's his front page. So you put it up there for a minute. Yeah, that's it. What It's Like. Classics, vintage, exotics, orphans. Does a lot of orphan cars, which I kind of like. You can see it's Ford stuff if you scroll down, Hudson Jet and Packards and things. So I don't know if any of you are into that, but it's yeah, Henry J and Studebakers, and they're pretty good videos. So and you can see they're not real long, 16 minutes, 9 minutes, 20 minutes, that kind of thing. Okay, so let's move back to our, and there went our microphone again. When you did that, just went away. Okay, we got our microphone. Buff, I'll send my suggestions on Instagram so you can refer back to it. Okay, yeah, perfect. DC was Mexican Spec. Every Mexican Spec Fox Mustang is all right. You know what, Mexican Spec, I really wanted that blue Mustang, but I had insurance money to spend, and they didn't give me anywhere near enough to buy that blue Mustang. And that's just, I wanted that thing. Such is life. Um, hey, Dean, how are you tomorrow? Oh, because it's tomorrow?
Yeah. Dean, don't give away the election results.
Yeah,
We know you're in tomorrow, so you already know what's going to happen.
Okay.
You
No,
can't
this
tell
is
us anything
this
about it.
no election
can't talk about it.
results. None of the
Can't
time.
talk about it.
None of the
No
time.
spoilers.
Um,
I'll be right back.
you'll be right back. Okay.
Yeah, it's been 2 hours. I got to use the bathroom.
She's got to take a break. Bring a fuse with you to get the wipers working again. Yeah, fuses are important. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. Um, the wiper motor. When I first looked at the pictures, I see the wiper motor missing. So I asked him about it. He had a pretty good explanation, that it was bad and somebody had pulled it off. He had a new one, and then obviously there's other stuff missing, but he's got it all in a trunk. So uh, the wiper motor was bad. Let's see if I can find, now that we're talking about it. I don't know if I have that picture or not. And there are sirens outside. Let me find my I don't know. Well, I don't know if I saved a picture of that or not. I did not. It's like, whoops, I didn't save that picture. So, I kind of like that. Man, I like that car. I don't know why I like that one so much, but I sure do. I mean, somebody did a nice job on that. Not original, but still pretty nice. 59 was a good year. 59 was a good year for every car. I mean, it's like the gaudiest year there was, but it was good stuff. All the fins, like this batwing fins and big fins, of 59 Cadillacs with rockets on the back. It was pretty good stuff. And so I enjoyed that stuff. Not sure if this is a good thing or not, but the exchange rate has gone up 60 cents in the last 3 hours. Is at 20.67 right now. I used to play all that stuff with different currencies and everything, and it was difficult to make money, because you had to buy and sell the stuff. I took a suggestion from somebody one time to buy traveler's checks. I don't know, can you still buy traveler's checks in one currency or another currency and then sell? But with all the hassle, you don't make a lot of money. So it's like I didn't have great gobs of money to do that with. If you like us at all, you would tell us the lotto numbers. No, no, no. No, no, no. We're not doing any of that. 70 is good, pre-smog and no catalytic converters. Hey, I bought a brand new 1974 AMC Matador in 1974, and that was the last year for no catalytic converter, and I had no idea how good I had it. I had no idea how good that was. And I sold the car. I had the car for 8 months, and I sold it to get out from under the payments, and I was not upside down in it. So I needed that money. I needed to get rid of the loan because I was starting my radiator shop, my first radiator shop, and I couldn't have a loan sitting there because I borrowed some money to get the shop started. And to me, that I just had a choice to make. That was more important, and I started a business, and I paid that loan off. So my credit rating was pretty good at the time. Putting something together that someone else took apart could be a nightmare. Yep. Oh, you took your contacts out.
Yeah, my eyes are giving me fits.
Eyes giving you fits. Okay, so let's see. I was back to 59 Chevy, but then I'm going to pull this off and pull the El Camino that never existed off and the fleet line that never existed, or it did exist in one. And there's the car.
The
Yeah, I'm looking forward to going to
exchange
get it.
rate has gone up 60 cents in the last 3 hours.
Let's
Whew.
just hold it at that. This
Well,
is
that's
probably driven by election results.
just money. That's not
Okay,
that's not
so
election results.
so that's why it's moving.
Okay.
Okay, so see, okay, so I'm
Buddy Carafano says putting something together that someone else took apart could be a nightmare. Yeah, basket cases. You're
yeah.
talking about those wipers, but yeah,
Oh yeah, I'm not. See, I'm not.
cars that people take apart a lot of stuff, and then they're like, it just needs new blah blah blah, and
But
you're
the
like, no.
the wiper system's pretty simple. You know, there's a motor and some arms and wipers, and
We'll
it's
be
like
able to deal with it, but yeah,
okay.
it could be a
But now, if
nightmare.
somebody took that car all the way apart and
Yeah,
all the
no way.
bolts were in one bucket,
It'd be
and
junk.
yeah, then it's like, oh my god. Oh, it isn't. The wipers don't work. It doesn't have any. Buy some Rain-X. Yeah. But what we're gonna do is watch the weather. When I have a weather window, we go, we come back, and have some Rain-X handy, and and pull over. I mean, you know, it's not the end of the world. We'll have a camera with us. We'll make some content. We'll pull into a rest stop and some car will come through that's interesting. I don't know.
If good stuff happens, it's content. If bad stuff happens, it's content.
It's content.
People love when bad stuff happens. They love it. And if we pull through it, people like that. And if we fail miserably, people seem to watch that too.
What do they say?
Doing stuff.
Every bad decision creates a good story or something like that.
That's true. The worse the decision, the better the story usually. Sometimes, if you survive.
You know, 38, I think it's a decent looking car. It only has 80,000
Do you have
miles
any of
on
the
it.
other pictures, like the interior and stuff?
I don't have I thought I did.
There's a back end of it at least.
Yeah, there's a back end of it. Sadly, I just grabbed a couple of pictures for me.
They were up. I saw them in the thumbnails.
They're down here.
Oh, there they are. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they're I just scrolling so I could look. Because there's ones I don't want to bring up. Like this one. That's the interior on it. I mean, you know, for a 1978 car, dashboard isn't cracked, seats are good. It's got 80,000 miles on it. It's been in the garage since it was new. You know, it's been in the family it's in since it was new. How am I getting to Texas?
We're riding a mini bike.
Get a mini bike. We'll take mini bikes down there. Or I'll be on the back of Kim's mini bike and she'll ride it. No, really, we'll take the Jeep down there. Is the back support? No, it does not. And I know what you're talking about because I fixed those before too. They just years and years ago. There's this girl I knew, not really a girlfriend, kind of wanted her as a girlfriend, but it didn't ever work out. But she had a Ford vehicle that the seat, she used to hold onto the steering wheel to hold her up because it had one of those Ford seats that went all the way back because it broke. And I put something in there. I don't remember. I made something and bolted it in there, and she loved it because the seat didn't fall back anymore. If you bought a dash cam for full-time use, but maybe that will keep the idiots away. Oh, man. I wish I would have had a camera pointing out the side when that guy crashed into me. I wish Kim would have had a dash cam. Is that a partial vinyl top? Or no, it's a partial vinyl top. Let me see if I can get a picture of that. That's probably the worst thing about the car is it's a vinyl top. So I guess I'll just have to deal with it.
If a vinyl top isn't all messed up, I kind of.
Well, you can see it there. Cool. You can see it there. Well, you know what's going to be. Although it came from Texas in an area where and it was kept inside. So the chances there being a ton of rust under there is probably not a problem. Yeah, so it's actually a double partial vinyl roof. Yeah, it's that Thunderbird looking thing across the top. Yeah, it's Mercury a little more upscale than the Ford. Although a lot of the Futura, Fairmont Futura coupes had that same top. And, you know, I don't know if all the Mercuries had that or not. They may have. Go by Nogales, pick up a Mustang, drop it off in Texas, pick up his Z7. Oh, man. See, Dean, Texas is like 5 times the size of New Zealand. maybe bigger, from Texarkana, which is on the Arkansas side of Texas, to where I would drive across and go out into the New Mexico side, which is exit exit zero is what it's called. Exit zero on I-10 was I think it was 827 miles, something like that. It's a long, long drive. So I'm only going like a couple hundred miles, not even 200 miles into Texas. Why aren't you taking a bus down there to save money? We talked about that. And I told Kim I'd like to take a bus down there. But then, I want to take my aluminum floor jack, and I want to take a pretty good box of tools, and like you say, some fuses and some other stuff. And you do all that
I
on the
feel
bus.
like I don't want to send him on his own without a chase vehicle to pick up something
And
so old. Even if the seller is being completely upfront and honest about it, it's a long trip for an old car that hasn't
yeah,
it hasn't been used frequently, so it could just be.
it's like 625 miles. You jump in a car that's had little use, although been kept nicely. Um, yeah, I know you can take all
We
that in a
want a
bus.
chase
I
vehicle.
think I think we both want to go, and we want to do some content,
Yeah.
and so Kim's Kim's the camera engineer, so
And you know what? If I send him by himself, he won't record anything.
breaking down with no chase vehicle is a better video. Well, we could just fake it. We don't have a chase video. I just have this like camera that floats
I
around.
mean, I could go with a chase vehicle and commit not to help him. Like, you're on your own. I'll record you, but I'm not doing nothing. Get an Uber.
See,
And I'll follow the
hey,
Uber.
Tommy's here. We were talking about
Hey, Tommy,
Ireland
welcome to the
earlier.
stream.
Um, I used to take Greyhound buses around some, and I was going to take Greyhound, and there's this rules, and it was during, remember it was before the pandemic. What was it?
Yeah,
It was,
Mexicans.
I know what it was. It was after 9/11 and everything. So all of a sudden there were all these rules about security. So I'm reading, they had all this list of stuff you were allowed to take on the bus and weren't allowed to take on the bus. And the first thing on the list of what you could not take on the bus was a human dead body. And I'm thinking,
There's a reason that
there's a
rule
reason
exists.
that rule exists.
Yeah.
Somebody walked up to the bus,
I'm like, no.
do I need a ticket?
Like, yeah,
Do I
well,
need a
show me
ticket?
where the rule is.
Do I need a ticket for this person?
They're dead. Okay.
Oh, man. Nice morning in Dublin.
We'll see you, Tim. Thanks.
2:27 a.m.
Enjoy your dinner and yeah, get that stuff ready for next week. Be creative. Be creative. Surprise us.
What's this?
Send
What's
us
this?
something
What's
that
this?
we wouldn't have expected to see. You know?
What are you reading? I missed something.
Tim says going
Oh.
to fire up the grill for dinner, and I'll try and get some pics together with some ads.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Whatever
Yeah.
you think is fun. And we'll see what works, and then we'll try and do more of that. Because the thing of it is this stream is pretty entertaining. We have a lot of people come back, but why not try to do more and grow and get it bigger? And we don't want to be stale, so let's do something. And there's enough years of fun cars in the world for weeks in our year of our stream. So when we get to the end of all the years, we'll just circle back and do it again.
I got another story.
Go ahead.
I drove back and forth from Arizona to Tennessee a lot. Many, 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 many times. And one time I was really tired, and I was in Arkansas, and I pulled off an exit. I was just looking for a place to park, put my head back and sleep. So I pulled off, and I was with another guy, and he was driving a truck, and I was driving a truck. So we pull off, and there's a big pullout. It's like, all right, this is a good spot. And so I just stopped, put my head back, and I was out. And I think he was too. So then he wakes me up in a while. And across the street from where we parked, there's only one building at this exit. It's out in the middle of nowhere in Arkansas. So he goes over there, And he comes back and he knocks on the window and wakes me up. And he hands me half of a Cuban sandwich. It's like, God, this is so good. Where'd you get this? And he goes, over there. And I look over there and there's this old building and it says bait shop. I go, you got food from in there? Because it didn't look too good. And he said, yeah. So I ended up going in there and using the bathroom and we got going. Well, after that, every time I went through there, I stopped at that bait shop and the guy's got a grill in there. And typical Arkansas kind of thing. He's got a belt with a gun on and he cooks his food on the grill and it's the best food you'll ever get. So, and I've told people about it many times. Friends of mine have stopped there when they're on the road. And it's really easy to remember. Remember the first Chevrolet V8 engine, 265? It's at exit 265 in Arkansas on I-40. So
We'll have to
I'm
do
gonna,
a
I'm
short,
so
and we'll have to do a
so
little bit of we'll
so
do food review.
Kim is gonna go with me, and we're gonna stop at exit 265, and hopefully they're only open during the day and not on Sundays. So hopefully we can stop there.
Hopefully we can.
And that's another reason I want to go. Okay, so what are they
The
saying
other
about?
thing is, I can't imagine being on a bus that long. I need to lay down.
Great. Let's see here. Those look like earlier Granada wheel covers on the Z7. They could be. I don't know. Uh, Greyhound used to ship just about anything, getting a passed on relation back. Yeah. Um,
Yeah, you're like,
well, you know
we
what?
need to get Grandma home. Can't we just get her on a Greyhound bus?
When I had my first radiator shop, the radiator company I dealt with was in the San Francisco Bay Area. Actually, they're in East Bay, which is like Oakland, that area, Oakland, California. And I'd order radiator cores for them all the time, and they'd ship them on Greyhound. And I'd get them the same day or usually late in the afternoon. I'd get them next morning. And Greyhound was great, man. They never ruined anything, and they, you know, but that's, I don't know how that is anymore. That Greyhound, a lot of those Greyhound bus depots are gone. And now they have like a bench out in front of a gas station or something. Excuse, sorry I didn't answer before. I was watching. Okay, you think that is a Granada? Boy, Granada, I don't know. The wheel covers look the first gen Granada ESS. They could be. I don't know. I'd have to go. Kim, look at 78 Mercury Z7. Let's see what the stock wheel covers look like. Oh, Mexican spec. Let's see. Okay, I don't remember that. Do I remember that Fairmont said wheel covers near identical to first generation Sunbird?
Oh, they are different.
What are they? Oh, you typed in wheel covers. I was hoping, because those are like all kinds of shit. I was hoping you just put in
Just the
the car and then see what wheel covers are on it. Okay, let's see what's going on here. I got somebody buzzing me. Let's see here. You'll need to have. Okay, Mexican Spec is talking to me here. He says I need to have documents and all this. You know what? I've already solved that problem. He's sending me the title. I'm going to go up here. We don't have any inspections, so all you need to do is walk in the motor vehicle place with a title. Get it my name. Yeah, that was me. Get a title, and I'll go down there with a license plate and my new registration, have insurance, everything just screwed on the car. I'll have Tennessee plates on it when I drive it up here.
It looks like them are the ones.
See if you can you get in closer on that yellow one?
Not really.
Okay.
Oh, it's a Wikipedia.
Oh, Colleen's taken off.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Take care, Colleen. Thanks for hanging out here.
It's on Wikipedia.
If it's more than a 4-hour drive, take a plane. No. I'm done flying. I flew for 30-something years of my life. Not getting on any more airplanes. I'm not going through any more airports. Had enough. I got 22 friends been killed in airplane accidents. That's enough. I'm ground bound. That's why I'm doing cars again. Okay, so those. Oh, I remember those wheel covers. Okay, so I don't know. Are those original? Those could be original. Those could be some aftermarket slap on their wheel covers. Who knows? It
So,
doesn't
but
really matter to me. I don't really care because eventually I'll have some wheels on it. There's no person, VIN, and no. I have walked into the motor vehicle department here with stuff from Arizona, stuff from Maryland. Maryland just walked in there. It was the same exact thing. It was a title. They're gonna die in there. That'll be whatever the amount of money was. I
there's another one.
Yeah,
See,
same kind of
they
thing.
keep finding those
Yeah.
ones.
So I walk out with a license plate, all my paperwork, and then I drove back up to Maryland and I screwed the license plate onto my Jeep that I bought up there, and I never registered it in Maryland. I just registered it here, and nobody ever said anything. And then Kim drove it down here. 10 holes or 5 lugs and bullet. Now they're I assume those are four lug wheels, like my other one had. My other one was a 4-cylinder. I assume the 6-cylinder will be the 4 lug wheels. See, eventually, you know what I can do eventually is, put an 8.8 rear end under it and put some other engine up front, which means I'll probably put Mustang.
Wait, here's another one.
Oh, let's see what that one is.
This one has the same ones. Oh,
That's
where's
what?
it at?
That has some kind of wheels on it, doesn't it? I don't know. You can't zoom in, can you?
Gosh, let me
Oh,
see.
and that's the other thing you can do is Mexican Spec says
Ah,
pull up a Ford Fairmont Futura, same year. Oh, there you go. Oh yeah,
see.
those are. Yep,
No, that's
that's not
different.
them. That's something else.
That's
Though
different.
that's a later model thing.
Ah, we got a jalopnik.
Yeah, kill that. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah. Okay.
so look up. Same thing, 1978. Only go Ford
Fairmont.
Fairmont Futura. Yeah, slant 6 and a Z7. I mean that briefly crossed my mind, and then it briefly crossed my mind how ridiculous that would be. I mean, we've got enough of them around. Kim suggested I put her 360 Chrysler in it, but we're not going to do that. I had those wheels on a green one. Okay, what do you got there? Oh, that's not Futura, but that's got very similar wheel covers.
They're different though.
They're different, but they're very similar. I'd almost bet these ones are like an aftermarket, like
Replacement ones.
yeah,
They're
like
old replacement
J.C.
ones though.
Whitney
Yeah,
lookalikes.
regular wheel covers. I mean, it's common to lose wheel covers.
Ford 300 and a Z7. I think those are too tall.
Too tall, huh?
I think the little 200. Well, the other thing I could do with the 200, I got a turbocharger and an intercooler and a bunch of crap sitting up there. Although I think Kim wants to put it on her car.
We're
but-
not going to do a lot of modifications on this car right away.
Right, we're not.
It's going to
This-
be a driver, unless we have some kind of failure. It's all original. It's actually like a really original car. We're not going to mess
No,
with it right
what's
away.
going to be done is the windshield wipers. Something else was messed up. Or not, the window on the driver's side, the
Yeah.
cranking the gizmo doesn't work. So it's got duct tape holding the window up right now. And I'll just deal with it for the trip. But it comes with a window and all the plastic roll-up stuff and everything. So
Mexican Spec, we are going to obviously confirm the VIN when we go and get the car. But the car we're picking it up at the man's home address. It's not like he's trying to misrepresent. It's not like we're meeting him at a
yeah, he gave me
a Walmart parking lot to get this car. Like there's been quite a bit of personal communication.
I'm going to say something about this guy, but I'm not going to say a lot about him
Okay.
until it's okay. Until I talk to him and it's okay with him. He has become a subscriber to this channel and he likes it. He is a well-known individual.
Yeah.
And
he's someone of notoriety.
Yeah, he's got
not huge notoriety, but he's a real person, and he would not put himself
in a position
over a $5,000 car.
Or,
yeah.
So yeah, it's I don't have a problem with this guy. Um,
The 306 is an excellent engine. It's a 9.8-inch tall engine. That doesn't make any sense.
let's see here. Rack and pinion steering box versus oil pump prevents the 300 sitting low in the Fox. It's a 9.8-inch tall engine. Yeah, I don't know. But I know the 300 is a cool engine and everything, but I'm not gonna do all that. Oh yeah, she did look up a Fairmont like that, I thought. Yeah, like that old Motors one there, that brown one. Oh, that one has similar hubcaps.
That one has them with the round.
Is that the same number of spokes and stuff? The same center? It
Uh,
could be.
it has the round center. Let's see where it takes us.
Yeah, where does it take
us.
you? You know, that could be that could be the same hubcaps. You know,
yeah, that's it.
It could
That's
be this.
them.
That's the one on the Fairmont Futura. Um,
That's them.
the 300's length might be as much trouble as the height. Yeah, if I do anything, okay, of course the 302 bolts in. I've done it before. It's not a big deal. And the other thing I could do, I mean, this is like a year off after my other projects. I'm going to think all kinds of things. But, you know,
we'll start collecting
a
parts.
351 Windsor or a 302. I mean, I had a 302 Fairmont. It was one of these, only it was the Fairmont Futura. And it was a 302 with a C4, and I was breaking rear end parts with it, you know, and then I had to fix that stuff. But
good
anyway,
work, Mexican Spec. I award you 3 points for for giving us good direction on how to find a photo that confirms that these are factory style.
He was right.
They're factory style.
But maybe they came on the Mercury too. I don't know. You know, who knows? You know, I know a guy that worked in a Chevrolet dealer. This is back in the 70s, and he was working in the shop, and they'd have all these new pickups coming through, and they'd get new Chevrolet pickups, and the little thing that goes in the middle of the horn button in the middle of the steering wheel, they'd get them that said GMC in them, and they get them with GMC other stuff on them, logos and stuff, and they had to go fix all that stuff before they put the cars out on the lot. And you know, going down the line in the factory, they just throw the wrong thing on there. I could see that happen. wrong wheel covers get on it. I know my taillights are wheel covers. Yeah, it's easy to shorten it 1.5 inches. The Serpentine Drive and the way Ford Fox is, there's some space. Barra double overhead cams are the same length as the 300 Ford 6s with a Serpentine Drive. Really? Yeah, I know, Mexican Spec. I know you know your stuff with this. And earlier when you weren't here, I needed to know something, and I don't remember what it is right now, but I said, man, I know the guy to ask, but you weren't here, so I didn't ask you. So, well, just drive it, enjoy it, let it tell you what it wants. Yeah. Okay, so I know what I need to do right away.
Enjoy.
Okay, it had a bad battery in it. The guy told me that. So he says, I'm putting a new battery in it for you. Okay, good, thank you. So it's got a new battery in it.
And it's a Fox body, so we should be able to get any kind of parts we want. That's great.
And I know I have to deal with the windshield wipers.
Yeah.
And I know I have to deal with the window on the driver's side, but all the parts appear to be there, and they're out of another car. But you know, I've been at a door so many times.
The great thing is it's a pretty complete car, and we usually start with complete basket cases.
And when I get here, you know, there'll be new oil and filter and inspect the brakes and the kind of thing you do to a car that you drive every day, and keep it wiped down and clean. And he's kept it that way, you know.
Mexican Sex says the air conditioning compressor will break off the front of the engine just like mine did on my Futura.
And that was, I told you, it needed something else.
Great.
The air conditioning compressor is bad.
Luckily, it's not that hot in Texas right now. Any pictures of the rear? I think there was pictures of the back.
I probably do. But the air conditioning compressor is bad. I know that. I knew that right from the beginning. Oh, he's got a license number showing. I didn't want to show that, but I don't know if that matters. So, yeah, there's the back. It looks like it's missing a logo on the left side where it says Mercury or something over there. I don't care. I'll just polish that. Nobody will know the difference. So that's the back. Uh, there's another picture of the back, I think. Yeah,
I
it's
think it
sort of
does say Zephyr on there.
over there, but on the other side, I think it's.
We need a Mercury.
I think the Mercury. I think
We'll
that's
get us
just.
a
I
Mercury
think that's
badge.
just the double sticky sided tape that's left. Oh, so you don't have the belt on it then. Mine was yeah. Although, okay, the air conditioning quit working. He took it somewhere. They told him it needed a compressor. They told him it was out of stuff, refrigerant. But they said it leaked out through the compressor. They put some in, it's leaking out through the compressor. So he told them to wait on that. Okay, so it's not nothing's disconnected. So I know there's not dirt and dust and bugs and everything living in the expansion valve and all that.
Ew.
And that's a big problem with air conditioning systems where people have disconnected the
Oh,
tubing.
like
And
remember when
this one's all together.
remember when I took apart that 727 transmission and there was a bug nest in the
Okay.
transmission cooler
I'm
line?
I didn't take one of these soon enough. I'm gonna start sneezing. Oh geez.
Mexican spec says
Hmm.
he lost his AC compressor in Las Vegas. I mean, if ever you were gonna explode an air conditioner, Las Vegas seems like a hot place to do that.
Yuma's more.
Yuma's more. All right. Well, I think anywhere over there in the Southwest, you're likely to destroy an air conditioner that is not quite up to the task. You're gonna push it
At least
hard.
the other correct taillights. Ford was vertical and Mercury was horizontal. Ford had the vertical things in them. You know, I looked at one of these and the guy had painted, you know, those $1,000 taillights? The guy had painted them white and then took little sections of the red out or taped them off like with a strip of masking tape or something. And I guess he thought it looked cool.
Well, if you think about it, he just made
And it's
all
just,
the other
and
taillights
it's like,
worth more money.
it's like, what an idiot.
Of course.
So, yeah, I don't know. My last one had broken taillights, and I couldn't afford the new ones, and I put the whole taillight thing on from an LTD that had the same shape but a different taillight. My Futura had my '79 Futura had LTD, you know, Fox body LTD taillights on it. Car was parked in the storage yard after that. The right door didn't close right, and my friend's wife did not appreciate that when I went around a left-hand turn.
Woo.
She had her seatbelt on. Out there hanging on the door. Yeah, that wouldn't be fun. So, Kim, what are you doing? You're cooking something.
I'm gonna make some tea.
Okay. So, why don't you come over and have a seat while your tea's cooking? I think it's time we wrap this up.
Okay, I think that's fair, guys. Next
This
week we're
trunk
gonna talk.
repainted Zephyr emblem should be chrome. Oh, the Zephyr emblem. I think they're plastic. I think it's just worn out.
Maybe we'll have to
I've
get a
seen
look at it.
people put sheet metal where the lights go and just use generic round. I've seen that too. It's
Yeah,
pretty
for
ugly.
$1,000.
So, oh, I looked at one of these that was a Futura, and it had an extra a whole taillight assembly in the back, whole thing. It's like, man, but the car wasn't that good. Kept the kept the girls close on the bench seat. The air compressor is dual belted. You can replace it with a serpentine belt and Taurus one wire alternator. Yeah, I don't know. We'll look at all that
Interesting,
stuff.
Dean. Thank you very
We'll
much.
look at all that stuff. Okay,
Next
we've
week,
been here almost
the
almost
year
3 hours.
1970, we are going to take some time and speak specifically about 1970. So, if you have a car or some kind of memorable thing that's automotive related from the year 1970, not the decade, just the year 1970, what was your favorite car that you would have bought if you were buying a car in 1970 or some such type of thing? Send it to buffdelcampo@gmail.com. We're going to talk about it next week. Or you can wait till next week and send it, or you can send it sometime between now and then. If you have any free time and you want to, take a little bit of a deep dive into the year 1970 and see what you can dig up.
And as a group, we are going to discuss it. We're going to make that a segment, not the whole stream
Yeah,
next
just a
week,
little segment.
but a segment, and we're going to try that out and see if that's something fun to continue to do in the future. Okay, I just wanted to get that out there one last time before we're done for the night.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, for stopping by and chatting with us and having a good time.
Yes, thank you for being a moderator, Mexican Spec. Thank you, everybody who's commenting. I'm sorry if we missed your comment or did not follow your. We can't do it all. We try. We had a great I had a great time. I'm so glad. I'm getting better. Things are going great. We're going to have some content coming out from our travels that when they happen here. I don't know when that's going to be yet. If we are not able to be here next week, we will let you know with as much advance notice as
I'm
possible.
going to try to avoid traveling on Tuesday.
Yeah.
I guess we could do a live from a hotel room.
It's possible.
So.
And a new computer for the shop is on its way.
New computer's on its way. So the shop, we should have sound
and better
and video
stuff.
that are coordinated.
Yeah. So.
Okay.